Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. Fantasy. Start with Supreme Bone, sign in with ancient dual pupils. Chapter 31. Take you with me. You are just talking nonsense here. How can I share such a beauty? Just as he was about to speak, Jumal Luo immediately noticed something was wrong. Why was he wasting words with this little brat? Boy, who are you? You dare to ruin my good deeds. Are you really tired of living? Jumal Luo's forehead was squeezed into a river shape, and he said cautiously. He was not in a hurry to take action, because Wong Tang's silent approach just now made him smell a little bad. In addition, within the secret realm, basically, they are all prodigy of various ethnic forces. It is better to find out the details of the other party first. Thief bald donkey, you don't even know my master. He is the son of the ancient royal family, with 3 major physiques, and the absolute witness of the great emperor in this life. Why don't you kneel down and apologize? Su Annie showed up and introduced on the side. While speaking, he did not forget to mix in the dragon's might in his blood, making the momentum and style of the 2 sentences reach a climax. Eastern Wilderness Wong family, so they are from the ancient family. Now they are a lot more difficult to deal with. Wong family prince, I advise you not to meddle in other people's business. If you leave now, you can pretend that nothing happened. Otherwise, in this secret realm, even if you are the Eastern Wilderness Prince, I will never be polite. Jumal Luo said coldly and threatened. What a joke. If I really want to intervene, do you dare to kill me? Wong Tang stood with his hands behind his back and responded confidently. He huffed. A golden sword burst out from his eyes and pierced Jumal Luo's shiny bald head. This is not the ancient dual pupil's divine ability. It is an ordinary flying sword transformed by the power of the pupil. Let's give him a try. Clang. Jumal Luo's eyes focused, raised the gilded Zen staff, and blocked the attack of the flying sword. Seeing that Wong Tang not only did not leave but also took the initiative to attack, he could no longer suppress the murderous intent in his eyes. How dare you show off your skills in front of an expert? Great heavenly dragon. Boom. A demonized Buddha light emanated from his body. The clothes on his upper body were torn and stretched open. On the back of Jumal Luo, there was a lifelike real dragon law manifestation carved. This is the 8 divisions of Heavenly Dragon. Great Heavenly Dragon, the world-honored one, Saitagarbha, the great principal mantra, Prajna Buddhas, Prajna Bhamahang. Giamala twisted the lotus in his hand and uttered Sanskrit. The next second, countless swastikas with golden light condensed into the phantom of an ancient monk law manifestation. Buddha Kingdom in the palm. The huge Buddha palm turned down and slapped Wong Tang. Originally, it should have been the telekinesis of Buddhist believers, but because they fell into the ancient monks and defected. Now what is entangled on it? It is the resentment generated by the people they killed. Ghosts howled and howled in astonishing numbers. It was like a land of hellish ghosts. Evil monk. You have committed so many murders, and you still dare to commit crimes. I will send you to the west to see the Buddha. Wong Tang looked at the astonishing resentment and accused. Then, he turned into Kunpang and dodged the attack. What? Complete Kunpang treasure technique. How is this possible? Didn't Kunpang disappear in the long river of time? Jumal Luo was shocked and surprised. While he was shocked, Wong Tang flew to a tree and activated ancient dual pupils in the direction of the attack trajectory. His eyes scanned. Rounds of runes emerged. Quickly copy Jumal Luo's previous attack. This is the copy effect attached to ancient dual pupils, but attacks above divine ability cannot be copied for the time being. It requires the subsequent divine treasure to be activated. Rumor. In ancient times, there was a person who had cultivated dual pupils to the extreme and copied the divine ability of a great emperor. It was so terrifying. Evil monk. Come, I'll give it back to you. Wong Tang turned his palm, faster than the Buddha. He copied the Buddha's kingdom attack and used it on Jumal Luo without any cost. In an instant, in the void, a large handprint appeared instantly, falling vertically from the sky. With the illusory power of resentment, it turned into a 5-finger mountain as black as ink, and smashed down towards Jumal Luo fiercely. At the same time, outside the mountain range, looking at the 5-finger mountain falling from the sky not far away, Saint Emperor's blood throbbed for a moment, and he seemed to feel that this scene was very familiar. Hiss. What's going on? Why do I feel like I'm being crushed by this mountain? But soon, from the breath sensing, He found that the person who launched this attack was Wong Tang, who possessed the desolate ancient saint body. They belonged to the same fighting lineage. When fighting, there would be a delicate breath, which could naturally be sensed. Then, his speed increased again. As long as he held on for a moment, he would be able to completely merge with Wong Tang. Back to the front battlefield. No, it's impossible. My moves, why do you also know them? Jumal Luo opened his eyes wide, shocked. This was beyond his imagination. Just as he was about to dodge, he heard a swoosh, and a long spear transformed into a destructive black light shot over. Want to sneak attack? I'm not so stupid. Do you think my wisdom eyes are cultivated in vain? Jumal Luo smiled confidently and dodged the spear. Although his ancient monk wisdom eyes are not as good as those of ancient dual pupils, at least they can observe 6 directions. But he didn't wait for him to be happy. An arrow that was faster than the speed of light suddenly attacked from behind him and pierced Jumal Luo's chest directly. Bald donkey. Sorry, I deliberately used the spear to attract your attention just now. And this arrow is the real killer move. The so-called open spear is easy to dodge, but the hidden arrow is hard to guard against. This is the truth. As soon as the voice fell, the 5-finger mountain hanging above Jumal Luo's head also fell down at this time. Smashed him into a pulp. Embedded in the soil, it couldn't be pulled out. The 5-finger mountain dissipated, revealing the flattened Jumal Luo, whose flesh and blood were so blurred that he couldn't see the human form. The eyes swept across. In the middle of a pile of flesh and blood, a black bead suddenly appeared, with Buddha light attached to it. Aha! This is a piece of equipment. It looks like a relic. Keep it first, maybe it will be useful in the future. Wong Tang wiped the blood off it and threw it into the storage bag. Then, he seemed to think of something and immediately ran to check the status of Yao Kai saintess. Her now, the medicinal properties of Heihuan powder are all in effect. When Wong Tang rushed over, a spring scene suddenly appeared in front of him. Pink grapes came into view. Oh my god, so exciting. Wong Tang swallowed his saliva and almost sprayed a nosebleed. Moreover, the figure of Yao Kai saintess is a pear-shaped S-shape. Just when he was at a loss, the blurred and flushed Yao Kai saintess, the figure of Wong Tang appeared in her slightly narrowed eyes. The next moment, she rushed forward like a hungry tiger, pressing Wong Tang to the ground. Yao Kai saintess, wake up. Don't be like this, wake up a little. Hey, you really made me suffer, hee hee hee. Wong Tang pushed her and tried to wake her up. But it was useless. She could only be forced to let Yao Kai saintess deal with her and see if she could successfully remove the poison. The Suani on the side also understood instantly, turned around and ran outside to stand guard. No one was allowed to disturb. After an indescribable scene. After a while, after Wong Tang's local treatment, the toxicity of the Heihuan powder in Yao Kai saintess had been completely removed. The whole person was still a little exhausted, but he was much more sober. Moreover, the shugongsha on Yao Kai saintess's arm also disappeared at this moment. This was an accident, I don't blame you. However, this secret can only be known by the two of us, you can't tell anyone. If a third person knows, even if you are the prince of the Wong family, I will never forgive you. Yao Kai saintess packed up his clothes, stood up and warned Wong Tang. And Wong Tang was also confused. He was clearly forced, how could he appear to be the irresponsible one? At the same time, the two of them made a lot of breakthroughs in their cultivation. And Wong Tang also discovered that Yao Kai saintess had a special supreme level physique. Innate Tao fetus, one of the human race apex level physiques. Born to be in harmony with the Tao, it can be imprinted in the void and wield the power of the great Tao of heaven and earth. Fighting with others, innate is invincible, and this physique combined with the desolate ancient saint body can produce innate sacred body Tao fetus. The physique of the great emperor who has 100% proved the Tao. The great emperor without beginning, who once dominated the myriad worlds, had this kind of heaven-defying physique. I'm leaving, remember what I said, otherwise if it gets out, I will kill you with my own hands. Yao Kai saintess did not forget to remind him again. Then, she offered a long sword, stepped on it with a pair of jade feet, and flew away from the mountain mouth behind her. Little did she know, at this moment, a tiny life was quietly nurturing in her belly. Desolate ancient saint body can be called the strongest sacred body of human race. It is not just as simple as having strong qi and blood. The most amazing thing is that it can succeed in creating a human being in one go. Hey, what's the big deal? Being a man is really difficult. Whether it is active or passive, it is inevitable to be labeled as a scumbag. Wong Tang shook his head and sighed. Just then, Saint Emperor arrived at the mountain range smoothly. As soon as he came in, he saw Suani standing on a boulder, holding his head high and standing guard. Suani, where is your master Wong Tang? Why can't I see him? Saint Emperor asked anxiously, panting heavily. The master is picking up girls in there. Don't disturb him for the time being. You and I will stand guard first and be careful not to let anyone get close. Suani waved his claws, motioning him to stand up together. This time, the monkey's grievances burst out. Wong Tang. You are a traitor. I am being hunted, but you are here to pick up girls. Why don't you come out now? Saint Emperor raised his voice and shouted. It happened that Wong Tang packed his clothes and walked out of the grove slowly. Don't listen to the nonsense of Suani. I was just saving people. What about picking up girls? There is no such thing. Wong Tang scratched his head and explained. During this time, he did not forget to give Suani a look to shut up his chattering mouth. After all, they have had physical contact. Still have to consider Yaoqi saintess, and can't let other people know about this for the time being. Monkey, are you injured? Did those guys from the Hongwang tribe do it? Wong Tang glanced at the wound on his body and immediately guessed that it was done by the Hongwang tribe. It seems that the changes on the guiding stone before. It is indeed as Suani thought. At this moment, more than a dozen prodigy figures from the Hongwang clan chased after Saint Emperor from behind. You stupid monkey, why did you stop? You've only called for help after all this time. No matter how you struggle, you must die today. Chongqi Emperor said fiercely with a ferocious face. He must avenge the blow. If you have the ability, don't use external objects. Fight with real strength, and I'll beat you all into pigs. Saint Emperor said angrily. This group of Hongwang prodigy has no martial ethics, and the ancient holy weapons in their hands were tampered with by the elders of the clan. This is why they were brought into the supreme secret realm. Just imagine, the trialists in the secret realm are all below the venerable realm. If they don't bring a trump card in, who will be their opponent? And heard Saint Emperor speak. Teodi Emperor rose into the air, holding up the ancient holy weapon in his hand, and said arrogantly. External objects are also part of strength. If you have the ability, ask the elders in the clan to give them to you. Who can you blame for this? Boom. The ancient holy soldiers were activated. It emitted a brilliant light. This is an ancient mirror. The complicated patterns on it covered the entire mirror surface. At the moment when Teodi Saint Child activated it, the terrifying holy power burst out from it. Seeing this, Saint Emperor couldn't help but take a step back. He was attacked by this ancient mirror before. The power is simply too terrifying. But Wong Tang behind him laughed playfully. Then he said confidently, you were right, external objects are also part of strength. Since you said so, it would be unreasonable for me not to open your eyes. As soon as the voice fell, boom, a golden and shiny spear suddenly appeared in his hand. The faint imperial power let the ancient mirror in Teodi Emperor's hand tremble with a whine. The attack that had just been brewing has not yet been launched. Then it dissipated in a sluggish moment. Emperor weapon. How did you bring it in? This is impossible. It is absolutely impossible to bring extreme Dao Emperor weapon into the supreme secret realm. Teodi's pupils shrank and he was surprised. Not only him. Every prodigy of the Hongwang clan opened their mouths wide, as if they were dreaming. It shocked them for 800 years. Ha 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 ha. Teodi's son, see if this foreign object of mine can kill you. Wong Tang laughed coldly, and the cold light in his eyes could kill people. The spear in his hand. The shape is exactly the same as the Emperor killing spear. It is a replica of the Emperor weapon. Unlike other great saint or quasi-emperor soldiers, the Emperor weapon can be controlled without any manipulation and is a consumable item. Wong Tang's. It can be used 3 times in total. And once it is activated, it can burst out 1/10,000th of the attack power of the Emperor weapon. Even if it is only 1/10,000th. That majestic imperial power, these ancient saint soldiers can't touch it. Emperor. Supreme 2. It has absolute suppression. Go to hell. Wong Tang spoke the truth and threw the imperial weapon in his hand. A terrifying attack. Like a move of the ancient great emperor, the imperial power suppressed Teoti's saint child and made him unable to move. Crack. A crisp sound of glass breaking sounded, and the ancient saint weapon he relied on was destroyed by a spear. And the power did not decrease. It pierced Teoti's saint child's head and didn't even give him a chance to say his last words. Dead. Teoti is dead. Wong Tang, you dare to kill Teoti, the Teoti clan will not let your Wong family go. Seeing the whereabouts of the body, Chongqi saint child shouted angrily. The Teoti clan is the same as their Chongqi clan. It is a great clan in the prehistoric times. And Teoti saint child is the hope of the clan. Wong Tang's move is tantamount to burying a blood feud. No need to release it. After we get out, my Wong family will settle accounts with you, the Hongwong clan, one by one. But before that, you all have to die. Wong Tang took back the thrown imperial weapon and said domineeringly. This group of Hongwong clan people. He didn't say anything about yin and yang outside the secret realm, and dared to chase and kill his bodyguard Saint Emperor after entering. No one can be tolerated. Anyway, killing one is killing 100 is also killing. Never let the tiger go back to the mountain. Just kill them all first. The most important point is, just now, Yaoqi saintess just slapped his butt and left, leaving Wong Tang in a depressed mood. And they are still running into the muzzle of the gun. Isn't this courting death? Monkey, go and seek revenge on that guy Chongqi Emperor. I'll stand behind you. As long as he dares to use the ancient saint weapon, I'll help you solve it instantly. This emperor's weapon can be used twice. Wong Tang put his hands in his pockets and said to Saint Emperor on the side. With the emperor's weapon in hand, this Chongqi Emperor can't make a big wave, so he can only let Saint Emperor take revenge. Okay, you've been chasing me for so long, it's finally my turn to fight back. I'll beat the shit out of him. Saint Emperor grinned, and his resentment burst out. Without the blessing of the ancient saint weapon. Compared with Saint Emperor, Chongqi Emperor's combat power is like tofu dregs. Even if he wears a helmet, he will be smashed into a pile of shit. Sure enough, after less than 3 rounds, he was beaten to death on the spot by Saint Emperor. Chongqi is dead too. Everyone, run away quickly, or you will all die here. The emperor of the Taowu tribe shouted. The emperor weapon carried by Wong Tang crushed them in all directions. If they didn't run away, they would only wait for death. In addition, both of them were of the fighting system bloodline. There was no room for fighting back. Hearing this, the surrounding Hongwong tribe prodigy, like the scattered soldiers, fighting for their lives, they fled. And some Hongwong tribes with racial advantages. Born with 4 legs, I almost laughed in my heart. Running 1 step is equivalent to running 4 steps for others. Want to run? No way. When I was chased, you also had a part, and every one of you must die. Saint Emperor carried the iron rod and chased after him without hesitation. Seeing this, worried about the ambush of Saint Emperor, Wong Tang rode Suani and chased after him immediately. Time flies. After 2.5 months of searching, they killed several prodigy of the Hongwong clan, but unfortunately most of them escaped and disappeared without a trace. It seems that most of them hid in the secret realm. The 3 took the opportunity to loot the treasures of the secret realm. It was much smoother without the participation of the Hongwong clan. During this period, Wong Tang devoured the meat of the ancient relics and broke through to the 6th layer of the 4 extremities realm with the help of the heaven-swallowing demon technique. And he also harvested a large number of treasures. Hundreds of medicinal kings, 3 great saint weapons, rare earths worth 1 million gold, Longchen purple crystal. Just as they were counting, a familiar beautiful figure appeared in front of Wong Tang. Little rascal, I didn't expect that you had a good harvest in the secret realm. This little rascal, no need to guess, the person who came was Zhang Ziyu. Why did you take so long to come in? Is there something wrong outside? Wong Tang asked doubtfully. Logically speaking, after he came in, Zhang Ziyu should have arrived at the Great Xia dynasty. Why did he come in at this time? Facing Wong Tang's head full of questions, Zhang Ziyu immediately told him what happened. It turned out, all this was planned by the first ancestor of the Zhang family. If he came in earlier, if he failed to meet Wong Tang in time, he would be besieged by vicious people. That would be more trouble than gain. And the timing is right. When the divine treasure is opened, even if someone wants to harm her, they will first go to get the opportunity. As for these ordinary treasures, the first ancestor of the Zhang family disdains to let her fight for them. Anyway, the ancient family is not short of resources. That's why Zhang Ziyu was allowed to come in 2.5 months later. If that's the case, is it not just you who is thinking of this? Or other prodigy of the human race planning this? Wong Tang seemed to have thought of something and continued to ask. In the past 2.5 months, apart from those who were hunting down the Hongwang clan, the other myriad races' prodigy were rarely seen. That's right, the prodigy of other races all had this in mind. The key is that they knew you came in early. They all dared not come in, and they all planned to get a share of the pie when the divine treasure was opened. Zhang Ziyu explained. This made Wong Tang embarrassed. It seems that the performance in the myriad races before was too fierce, and these people were scared. Just then, in the center of Secret Realm, on a sacred mountain. It's almost time. It's time to start the final trial. Let's see if there are any good seedlings this time to get the final divine treasure. An old man in the soul state said to himself. He is the spirit of Secret Realm, guarding the final supreme divine treasure. The laws of the entire Secret Realm, any grass, trees, mountains and rivers, are under his control. Ha! He waved his hand. The simple and unpretentious magic power emanated from his palm. The next moment, the sacred mountain under his feet, which was thousands of feet high and reaching the clouds, emitted a dazzling brilliance. Buzz! A pillar of light soared into the sky. It illuminated the entire Secret Realm. Everyone noticed this scene. Dong! The big bell was majestic, and the laws were dropped. The huge bell on the top of the sacred mountain resounded through the clouds, shaking the hearts of everyone in Secret Realm. All trial participants, the sacred mountain is now open, you can come here to get the supreme divine treasure. The voice was not loud, but it was like a loudspeaker for radio gymnastics. It reached everyone's ears. Supreme divine treasure. The supreme sacred mountain is open. Sister Zhang, this is just right, let's go to the sacred mountain. Wong Tang turned over and rode on the back of the Suani, holding out his hand. Zhang Ziyu didn't hesitate. She took his hand and sat behind Wong Tang, and then the Saint Emperor led the way in front. Two people, a monkey and a beast. They rushed to the location of the supreme sacred mountain together. At the same time, in the southern part of Secret Realm, in a desert. I've waited for so long. It's finally open, supreme divine treasure, you belong to me. A young man who looked like a banished immortal said confidently. Under his crotch, he was also riding an ancient relic, the fearless lion. His strength is comparable to the first layer of the Emperor Dao realm. He was subdued by him in this desert. And this exiled immortal boy. His name is Li Feiyu. He is the owner of the chaos body who took off his black robe. At the same time, in the eastern part of Secret Realm, in a mountain range. Should I go, or not? If I go, won't I meet him? What should I do then? Yao Kai Saintess leaned against a tree, touching her belly and talking to herself. A few days after she left, she found a fetal heartbeat in her belly, and found out that she was pregnant after checking herself. For almost 2.5 months, she was at a loss. At the beginning, Yao Kai Saint Lord named her Yan Ruyu. It was to let her keep her body like jade, so that she could practice the supreme kung fu to the great accomplishment realm, and then cooperate with the innate Dao body to prove the great emperor in one fell swoop. Now not only did she break her kung fu, but she was also pregnant. After leaving Secret Realm, how could she explain to Yao Kai Saint Lord? As if by some strange coincidence, she returned to the mountain where she had been entangled with Wong Tang. Recalling the things that happened with Wong Tang before, her mind could not calm down for a long time, which was obviously a sign of unstable Taoism. And the supreme technique she practiced. The rift was gradually widening. Forget it, let's take it one step at a time. Let's go to the supreme mountain first and see if we can get a chance. Yao Kai Saintess sighed and said helplessly. It can be said that the appearance of Wong Tang disrupted her life trajectory. But if Wong Tang hadn't come to her rescue, I'm afraid that the fallen ancient monk Jumal Luo would have taken her life. While she was rushing to the mountain, after hearing the reminder, the prodigy in the secret realm all ran to the supreme mountain. After a long time, everyone rushed to the Supreme Mountain, and under the guidance of the Secret Realm Spirit, they all came to the top of the mountain. She's here too. Wong Tang glanced and saw Yao Kai's saintess standing alone in the corner. She was wearing a veil. She stood there proudly, like a beautiful woman in ice and snow. At this moment, Saint Emperor on the side suddenly found that the remaining prodigy of the Hongwang clan was mixed in the crowd. He rushed over with an iron rod. You bunch of cowards. Ha 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 ha, you've been hiding for 2.5 months. Now let's see where you can run. Just when he was about to take action, an invisible wall of light fell from the sky and blocked Saint Emperor. Fighting is prohibited on the sacred mountain. If there is a next time, you will be expelled from the secret realm. As soon as the voice fell, the image of the old man who was the incarnation of the secret realm spirit suddenly appeared in front of everyone. Fortunately, there is an old man from secret realm. Otherwise, I'd be dead now. The saint child of Taowu panted, obviously frightened. You are really stupid. Why don't you stay outside for a while and come in at the right time? Oh, I almost forgot, you Hongwang people don't know this secret. A human race saint child took the opportunity to laugh. Good guy, are you playing PUBG here? Can you enter the secret realm to fight for the divine treasure? But it's not the fault of the Hongwang people. The first 2 times they entered the secret realm and successfully came to the sacred mountain were all human race monks. As a result, they only knew that there was an opportunity for the divine treasure. They didn't know that they could enter at the right time, which led to Wong Tang's lecture. Hearing this, the saint child of Taowu and a group of Hongwang prodigy. Their faces were as dark as Nigo. At this time, the spirit of secret realm raised his hand and said, Dear Trialists, I am the spirit of secret realm, you can call me Supreme Elder. Congratulations on coming here and having the right to compete for divine treasure. He smiled brightly. It was in sharp contrast with prodigy of the Hongwang tribe next to him. Supreme Elder, what is the trial of divine treasure? A martial arts competition, or a competition of cultivation strength. There is not even a battle platform around here. There are only some stone tables and stone benches. You won't let us compete in drinking tea, right? An anxious prodigy asked. After hearing this, everyone looked around. Just as he said, there is not even a loft building on the entire mountain top. There are only some stone tables of different colors, which seem to be deliberately built by someone. Standing everywhere on the mountain top. You are half right. The test to obtain the divine treasure is these stone tables. These are all made of enlightenment stones, and the quality of each piece is different. And the test is also very simple. Whoever can comprehend a move or two within the specified time. And whoever has the strongest power among all people will get the final divine treasure. As for the difference between which enlightenment stone you use, it is your respective physiques. The spirit of secret realm pointed at the stone table and said slowly. Once explained. Now, everyone understood instantly. Why did the great emperor of Blood Seal and the great emperor of Burning Lamp obtain the supreme divine treasure with ordinary physiques? The key lies in this comprehension. Although the stronger the physique, the more time you get, but it does not mean that the comprehension is the strongest. On the contrary, these enlightenment stone tables. There are 3 colors in total, white, black and red. White stone table, corresponding to ordinary physique, there is 30% of the enlightenment spirit, and the time is half an hour. Black stone table, for apex level physique, there is 50% of the spiritual charm of enlightenment, and the time is 1 hour. Red stone table, for supreme physique, there is 70% of the spiritual charm of enlightenment, and the time is 2 hours. And the upper limit of physique. It determines what kind of enlightenment stone they comprehend, and the corresponding prescribed time is also different. I'll go first. My physique is the body of the scorching sun. A prodigy stepped forward first and told him. He glanced at it. The spirit of secret realm nodded, pointed at the white stone table, and said calmly, Ordinary physique, sit at this table. After these words came out, the prodigy instantly felt depressed. The physique that he was proud of was actually judged as ordinary physique. Following, one after another, prodigy came forward, and basically they were all judged as ordinary physique. One table after another, the white enlightenment stone table was almost full. Fortunately, many prodigy with apex level physique appeared. It's my turn. Grandpa, I have the Taiyan body. Which table should I sit at? Zhang Ziyu showed his fangs and smiled. Taiyan body. Myriad worlds physique ranks 7th, not bad, finally a good physique has come. Sit at the table of supreme physique. The spirit of secret realm touched his beard and said with satisfaction. Following, the fighting bloodline physique of Saint Emperor and the innate Tao body of Yaoqi Saintess were also recognized. He sat at the table with the supreme enlightenment stone. Especially the innate Tao body. This terrifying physique that is naturally in line with the law surprised the secret realm spirit. Next, it's my turn. Li Feiyu glanced at Wong Tang next to him, and walked to the secret realm spirit with his head held high. Now there are only him and Wong Tang. Without waiting for him to report his physique, the secret realm spirit was shocked again when he looked at him. Chaos body. I didn't expect that chaos body would appear in this world. It's really the coming of the great world. Supreme physique, sit at the red table. Chaos body. This physique is the ticket to the great emperor. It's as amazing as the innate Tao body. Both are physiques that only appear once in 10,000 years, making the prodigy sitting at the white stone table envious. Especially the people of the Hongwang tribe. Seeing the Saint Emperor sitting at the red stone table, they were almost injured by internal injuries. And Li Feiyu enjoyed this moment very much. This feeling of being the center of attention would be even better if he could obtain the divine treasure. While daydreaming, as the last person, Wong Tang moved. After taking a look at Yan Ruyu who was sitting with her head bowed, Wong Tang had a lot of thoughts in his mind. But he still had to face it himself. Excuse me, which table should desolate ancient saint body sit at? Desolate ancient saint body, another heaven-defying physique. Not bad, I'm quite satisfied this time, sit at the table of supreme level physique. The secret realm spirit said bluntly after a simple glance. The physique that appeared today. It brought too many surprises to the secret realm spirit, making him numb for a while. Just when he was about to sit down, Wong Tang slapped his head fiercely. His mind was all on Yan Ruyu, and he almost forgot the important matter. Oh, by the way, I still have ancient dual pupils and 108 supreme bones. I don't know, can this be stacked? But it seems that there is no higher level enlightenment stone table. Hearing this, the supreme old man's expression was instantly changed. What? There are also ancient dual pupils, and 108 supreme bones. I was so numb just now that I forgot to investigate carefully. I almost missed these two major physiques. Ancient dual pupils, supreme bone, desolate ancient saint body. Take one out separately, they are all supreme level physiques, and now one person has 3 physiques. Obviously the red enlightenment stone. It doesn't match Wong Tang's identity. Swish. There was no time to be shocked. The secret realm spirit raised his hand and waved, pointing to the single position at the top. Immortal emperor level physique, please take a seat. That look, it was like a waiter with a perfect reputation. And following the direction of his finger, a golden stone table suddenly appeared on the originally empty and independent ground. Rather than a stone table, it was more like a throne made of pure gold. Sitting on it, Wong Tang knew the wonderful use of this golden stone table. The spiritual charm of enlightenment was 100% blessed. And the time is 10 hours, it is just cheating in front of these prodigy. The old man from Secret Realm didn't want to say more. He directly pinched the magic formula with his hands, and let all the enlightenment stone tables start releasing the spiritual rhyme. And each of them lit incense and calculated the time. Anyway, I am 7 hours ahead of them. Why not see what kind of attacks they have comprehended and how powerful they are? My desolate ancient saint body is a bit disadvantaged in terms of comprehension. Wong Tang touched his chin and thought to himself. Comprehending attacks out of thin air. He is not good at it. With a chaos body, which is in line with the 10,000 ways, it is easy to comprehend attacks with the blessing of Tao rhyme. If he wants to win, he needs to activate the supreme bone and the divine treasure of the ancient dual pupils. Tao rhyme alone is not enough. Not long, half an hour passed. 1/10 of the prodigy on the white stone table comprehended a move or a half of their own creation. Among them is the Chongqi Emperor. He is very arrogant now. Created a set of boxing. Seeing Wong Tang holding his chin and watching, his tail was almost up to the sky. Ha ha ha, Wong Tang, your physical strength is indeed strong, but your comprehension is not good. Don't think that you have a good physique and you can win by sitting at the golden stone table. Maybe you are not as good as me. The son of Chongqi felt relieved and mocked. The next second, he confidently tested the old man in secret realm, and the result was judged as ordinary level. Such a reversal. Wong Tang laughed so hard that his stomach hurt. I thought you were so powerful. The boxing skills you comprehended are just ordinary level. If there were only the white stone table left, your physique would not even be comparable to ordinary physique. You should sit at the table of children. As soon as the voice fell, boom, in the direction of the red stone table, a beam of light shot up into the sky, attracting everyone's attention. Divine ability. Has anyone realized divine ability? And it's been less than an hour. Some people in the crowd sighed. Following the gaze, Yan Ruyu, with her eyes closed, slowly ascended into the air like a banished immortal. The supreme technique in her body was running. Countless spiritual charms surrounded her, engraved into thousands of law runes. Divine ability, 9 heavens mysterious jade palm. A delicate shout. Yan Ruyu opened her eyes, and a clear beauty was revealed on her handsome face. Huchi. The jade-like giant palm swung out, smashing the mountain next to it into powder. What a strong attack power. Who says women are inferior to men? This move is not weaker than the male prodigy. Someone swallowed and exclaimed, not bad. The power of this divine ability is supreme. If no one can comprehend a divine ability better than you, then this supreme divine treasure must belong to you. The spirit of secret realm nodded and agreed. Hearing this, Yao Kai saintess had a blank expression on her face. After falling from the air, she sat down gently in her original position. A pair of dark eyebrows and curved eyes looked at Wong Tang. After the eyes met, Wong Tang was scared and sat awkwardly on the golden stone table and kept moving. Following, Saint Emperor and Zhang Ziyu also comprehended divine ability one after another, but unfortunately their power was not as strong as Yan Ruyu. It was just an ordinary inferior divine ability. At this moment, except for the only remaining Li Feiyu, all the prodigy below the red stone table have finished their comprehension. And the power and level, they are not as good as Yan Ruyu's divine ability. If it weren't for the lack of time and spiritual energy, I would have realized the divine ability long ago. The Chongqi Emperor continued to complain, but no one paid attention to him. He was performing hard like a shit-stirring stick. The next moment, Li Feiyu moved. He opened his arms, and endless chaotic energy filled the air, wrapping him up. It was like a cocoon about to break out of its shell and be reborn. Swish! A strong purple light appeared from the chaotic energy. It was stronger than ultraviolet light. It illuminated Li Feiyu's figure, and he also pointed his finger and shouted at this moment. Divine ability, purple air comes from the east. The index finger and middle finger were combined. The purple air transformed from the chaotic energy gathered into a sharp sword light and slashed across the sky. Crack! Without exception, several mountains were flattened directly. Sword attack divine ability. The strongest attack in divine ability is indeed much stronger than the palm method of innate Tao fetus. This time when the secret realm was opened, you brought me a lot of surprises. The old man in the secret realm clapped his hands and applauded. It seems, he admired Li Feiyu's purple air comes from the east divine ability. If nothing unexpected happens, the result of this trial competition is almost clear. Unless Wong Tang in the next 7 hours. He also comprehended the sword-type divine ability. And his attack was stronger than Li Feiyu's, so he could win, otherwise the result would be doomed. Even Zhang Ziyu was worried. It's over. Can the little rascal comprehend the sword-type divine ability? It's easy to say if it's a battle, but comprehending is not what desolate ancient saint body is good at. The same was true for Saint Emperor on the side. He and Wong Tang belonged to the same fighting lineage, and knew how difficult it was to comprehend out of thin air. I said it a long time ago. The supreme divine treasure belongs to me. Li Feiyu grinned and said comfortably. While talking, he didn't forget to give Wong Tang a look, asking him to give up the meaningless struggle. He was silent all the way. This time he could finally win. Oh, it seems you are very confident. Wong Tang sneered. As a prodigy with Immortal Emperor-level physique, he naturally had to appear at the last moment. Moreover, if he opened champagne in the middle of the game, he would definitely be overturned. The most important thing is, Wong Tang has the system by his side. With such a big daddy plug-in in hand, is he still afraid of not being able to beat Chaos Body? System, sign in for me. Wong Tang called out the system in his mind and said silently. Ding, congratulations to the host, the sign-in is successful. Get the sign-in reward. Grass Sword Technique. Grass Sword Technique. This is the sword technique with the strongest attack power. Even if Li Feiyu comprehends 10 divine abilities, it is not as powerful as the Grass Sword Technique. Sure enough, Tongzi is still awesome. Every sign-in will not let me down. As the system voice fell, Wong Tang familiarized himself with all the Grass Sword techniques. He performed it in his hands. Boom, in an instant. Above the void, thousands of phantoms condensed, and the auspicious aura covered the entire sky. The phenomenon changed. An ordinary grass appeared in the sky. The sword is shaped like grass, with 9 leaves. Each blade of the sword is filled with infinite sword intent. It is plain and simple but has amazing power. It can cut through time and space. It can cut through everything in the myriad worlds. Cut. Wong Tang used his finger as a sword and slashed it towards the sky. And the grass in the void also swayed like a sharp sword and cut it out. Crack. With one cut, the sky was torn apart. It was stronger than the battle between Whitebeard and Red Hair. It was a pity that the laws in the secret realm were insufficient. If it was used in the outside world, the power would be 10 times greater. At this moment, in one sentence, it can describe the power of the grass sword art. A blade of grass can cut off all the sun, moon and stars. With a full force attack, even a star can be cut in half. But Wong Tang's cultivation is still low. Once you reach the saint realm, even a great saint will have to temporarily avoid the edge of the grass sword art. A blade of grass can cut the sun, moon and stars. This is comparable to the scripture created by the great emperor. It is worthy of the immortal emperor level physique. Talent is so terrifying, it is rare in the world. The old man of secret realm praised again and again. Even for millions of years, countless prodigy have entered the secret realm, but none of them is as amazing as Wong Tang. In other words, Wong Tang's cheat is too strong. If the protagonist does not cheat, can he still be called the protagonist? This Wong Tang is too awesome. He instantly comprehended it, and it is a sword technique with such strong attack power. A prodigy opened his mouth in shock. People are so annoying. I'd better go out first. Staying here and watching is just asking for trouble. The second prince of the great Xia dynasty shook his head and sighed. It was not easy to get a few places in. Unexpectedly. All of them princes and princesses have inferior physiques and have not been able to comprehend the divine ability in time. Completely a foil for Wong Tang. However, they did receive half an hour of spiritual enlightenment. It was of great help to their future cultivation. In short, they still made a lot of money. And it was very obvious. The words said by the old man from Secret Realm. The result is self-evident. The sword technique displayed by Wong Tang is 200% able to take the ownership of divine treasure. The Hongwang tribe next to him. The veins on his forehead also bulged, which was particularly creepy. If Chaos Body obtained divine treasure, it would be acceptable, but Wong Tang's winning would be their shame. Let's go. Go out and report the situation to the elders. We can't let this kid leave safely alive. The son of the Chongqi emperor greeted everyone and snorted coldly. As they left one by one, the old man from Secret Realm smiled and nodded, announcing the result of the trial. I declare that the winner of this supreme divine treasure is Wong Tang. The final result appeared. Some are happy and some are sad. Zhang Ziyu, the Saint Emperor, and Yaoqi Saintess were all happy for Wong Tang. Except Li Feiyu. He was so angry that he clenched his teeth. He was only one step away from winning the divine treasure, but Wong Tang turned the tables. If Wong Tang is not eliminated, he will be the biggest stumbling block on my path to becoming the great emperor. I can't let him develop steadily. Li Feiyu stared at Wong Tang, thinking in his heart. At the same time, the old man of Secret Realm floated into the air. The power of the laws within the entire Secret Realm, under his mobilization, merged into the palm of his hand. As he raised his hand, a ball of golden rime emitting the aura of the emperor appeared from the hands of the old man of Secret Realm. Then with a whoosh, it bounced in front of Wong Tang. Then it slowly entered his forehead. Supreme Divine Treasure. Each reward is different and will be matched according to your own skills. Now it seems that you have a strong physical defense, a Kaozi sword attack, and a Kunpeng treasure technique speed. I can only reluctantly give you this. Listen. Is this still human? Even the old man in Secret Realm thinks Wong Tang is impeccable and can't find any shortcomings to make up for with supreme divine ability. He is simply not a human. He is a monster. Transmigrate cheater. Buzz. As the golden ball entered his body, Wong Tang also sensed what was contained in it in an instant. It was a boxing technique. It is called 6 Paths of Reincarnation Fist. Because this is a special match, Wong Tang discovered. This set of boxing techniques can resonate with the great accomplishment Sacred Body. Activate every inch of flesh and blood. When fighting, the power of the 6 paths will gradually flow into the fist. That is, the human way, the Asura way, the hell way, the hungry ghost way, and the animal way. The power of the 6 paths. Not only can it show 6 different visions, but it can also transform into 6 ancient universes. Evolving everything. Covering all spirits in the universe. Terrifying and boundless. It's so cool. This trip to Secret Realm is a big win. But, just a little bit of fun. Wong Tang subconsciously looked at the red stone table. Yao Kai's saintess, who was originally standing there, had no trace at this moment. Needless to say, she left Secret Realm while Wong Tang was receiving the divine treasure. At the same time, outside Secret Realm, in the void. Calculate the time. Secret Realm is about to close. I wonder who will get the divine treasure this time. A powerful person from the human race could not help but speak. Who will get it? Needless to say, the prince of our tribe has outstanding talent. I think he has already won the divine treasure and is. The elder of the Teodi tribe tilted his head and said confidently. That wrinkled old face, as proud as Wang Yusheng. The other protectors of the Hongwang clan also praised their own princes. In their opinion, the divine treasure belongs to their Hongwang clan. The next second, swish, a flash of light flashed at the entrance of the Secret Realm, and more than a dozen figures staggered out of it. Like a dog that has lost its home. Look, someone is coming out. The first batch of people who came out seemed to be the prodigy of the Hongwang clan. A saint lord noticed something strange and pointed to the front. Follow the direction pointed. The people in the void found the frightened princes of the Hongwang clan. Prince, what's going on? Why are you so panicked? Did you get the divine treasure and someone is chasing you? The elder of the Taowu clan stepped forward and asked urgently. He was quite surprised. Only he could think of this plot of getting a treasure and escaping first. No, elder, the supreme divine treasure was obtained by Wong Tang. The Teodi clan prince panted and answered. 2 simple sentences. Instantly, the crowd exploded. Ancestor, did you hear that? Tanger obtained the supreme divine treasure. Ha 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 ha, my son Wong Tang really has the talent of a great emperor. Wang Chendong was secretly delighted. He wanted to tell everyone. Spread this news to all the myriad worlds. His old face was full of glory. The rest of the human race forces, except those who were not on good terms with the Wong family, came forward to congratulate. As long as it was not obtained by the Hongwang clan. That was still acceptable, and as the saying goes, some are happy and some are sad. When the Teodi clan elders were angry, they did not see their prince come out for a long time, so they could not help but step forward to ask. Why are you the only ones who came out? Where is my prince? It would be better if they did not mention it. Once mentioned, the Teodi emperor reacted instantly. It was Wong Tang. He brought an imperial weapon into the Secret Realm and slaughtered our prodigy tribe. Except for us who survived, everyone else was killed by him and the monkey. The Teodi emperor was killed by the imperial weapon. The Teodi emperor cried and told the story. Of course. He distorted the facts. He even exaggerated. He misinterpreted the fact that they were chasing Saint Emperor first into Wong Tang slaughtering their prodigy tribe. His face was thicker than a city wall. It would be a waste of his talent if he didn't become a newspaper reporter. What? Wong Tang, he actually disregarded morality and committed evil in the Secret Realm. Killing my clan's emperor is irreconcilable with my clan. The Teodi clan elders looked fierce and scolded. Wong family, aren't you going to explain? Your clan's emperor must pay for killing so many prodigy of my Hongwang clan. An ancient king clan ancestor spoke slowly. Among the dead prodigy, There is also an emperor of their clan, and he is his only direct bloodline. Without waiting for the three ancestors to answer, suddenly, the entrance to the secret realm flashed again, and unlike before, the light this time illuminated the entire sky. All the prodigy inside, except Wong Tang, all were teleported out. And among the crowd, there was the figure of Saint Emperor. Without saying anything, the Chongqi clan elder thundered and prepared to kill Saint Emperor first and get some interest. Dead monkey, you killed my clan's emperor, go to hell. It's time to say it. Wong Tang is a changing person, but Saint Emperor is a permanent one. He always gets into trouble first. This time is no exception. Saint Emperor did not panic and dodge when he saw the giant palm of the Chongqi clan elder. This is an attack of the great saint level. Even if he wanted to escape, he would be locked in, and he could only use his life-saving killer. Old Immortal, you bully the weak, so don't blame me for calling people. Saint Emperor cursed and took out a jade slip from his arms. Crack, once it was crushed, a terrifying spiritual sense imprint quickly emanated from it. Then it condensed into an illusory Dharma body, standing in front of Saint Emperor, bullying the weak. Are all of you Hongwang people so unreasonable? If you dare to attack again, don't blame me for being rude. The shadow stood with his hands behind his back, and thunderous sound came out of his mouth, mixed with a trace of quasi-emperor breath. Obviously, this is a clone of the fighting ape king. HMPH, do you need to be polite? You are just a clone. Even if your real body comes, what can you do to me? There are also strong quasi-emperors in my tribe. This monkey must die today. The elder of the Chongqi tribe said with no fear. In his opinion, the fighting ape king can only die in the quasi-emperor realm, and they also have the quasi-emperor ancestors behind them. Why should we be afraid of him? What's more, the death of the Chongqi emperor has made him lose his mind. Seeing that the situation is a little uncontrollable, Sha Wuming stepped forward and persuaded, "Two seniors, can you talk about your grievances later? This is the territory of my great Sha dynasty after all. If we fight, I'm afraid it will implicate my people." As soon as these words came out, the elder of the Chongqi tribe glanced at Emperor Sha. He spoke with some displeasure. "For Emperor Sha's sake, I won't bother with you. Otherwise, you can't get away from the responsibility of the death of our emperor today." As soon as the voice fell, the elder of the Chongqi tribe pushed him away and raised his giant palm to attack Saint Emperor again. The power was more than twice as strong as before. "I haven't left the valley for many years, but you, a mere great saint, dare to look down on me. Well, today I'll let you see that my Saint Ape Valley is not so easy to bully." Boom! In an instant, the phantom of the jade slip shattered. Above the distant Holy Ape Valley, a golden beam of light shot up into the sky, resounding throughout the sky. The next second, the majestic figure of the Holy Ape Emperor of Fighting strides from the end of the sky, ignoring the laws of the Great Tao, and arrives above the Great Sha dynasty in just 3 steps. Bang! With a roar, it was as if the ancient Great Emperor had come in person. That kind of domineering aura came from the pride of the fighting blood flowing in his body. With a loud bang, a golden light that broke through the air flew over, shaking the endless void and causing the earth to tremble violently. At this moment, the Great Emperor's aura was released like a wave, wantonly suppressing all the people of the Hongwang clan. This is Extreme Tao Emperor Weapon, Golden Cudgel. Everyone was dumbfounded, and many people recognized the identity of this powerful weapon. The imprint of the ancient emperor on it. It was still vaguely visible. This is the weapon of the Saint Emperor of Duzhen, and it actually crossed the void and revived. An ancestor at the level of a living fossil couldn't help swallowing his saliva. The scene of the Saint Emperor of Duzhen looking down on the world in the past. It echoed in his mind. The Golden Cudgel is the Extreme Tao Emperor weapon of the Holy Ape Valley, a famous magic weapon in the myriad worlds, and its attack power ranks among the top 5. Since the Saint Emperor of Duzhen passed away, it has been sleeping in the depths. It has not been disturbed for many years. Unexpectedly, today it has revived to help. It seems that the Duzhen Ape Emperor is indeed angry, and he is bound to make the Chongqi tribe pay the price. Although they are cowardly, they are not without temper. They will take action when they should. Now we have something interesting to watch. The fighting Saint Ape is famous for protecting his children. If you annoy the Ape Emperor, he will summon the Extreme Tao Emperor weapon. There will inevitably be a shocking battle. Some human race masters put their hands in their pockets, looking forward to it. The battle of the resurrection of the Extreme Tao Emperor weapon is not something you can see casually. We should go. You have realized a divine ability, which is a reward, not to mention that you have been baptized by the Enlightenment Stone. We have nothing to do here. Staying here will inevitably affect us. The Holy Lord of Yaokai sacrificed the flying boat and reminded. Before this, there were already many forces that heard the news and moved. They quietly took the surviving prodigy and left here quickly. Even the quasi-emperor Xia Huang of the great Xia dynasty. Just now, he pulled Xia Wuming and the princes and princesses who came out of the secret realm back to the imperial city. Yes, master. Yan Ruyu lowered her head and responded. But he was still very conflicted in his heart, not knowing whether he should tell his master about the secret realm. And he turned his head. The location of the secret realm entrance. Still no sign of Wong Tang coming out. Touching his belly, Yaokai saintess chose to temporarily hide this secret, and then boarded the returning flying boat. At the same time, the Dujin Ape Emperor holding the golden hoop. The pure gold Dujin blood was boiling, 100 times more intense than that of the Saint Emperor. Even the sky was dyed golden. One stick to break the mountains and rivers. The ancient stick glowed, like a magic needle to stabilize the sea. You can even see the figure of the Dujin Saint Emperor in the past. Get out of the way. The powerful quasi-emperor of the Chongqi tribe roared. This is a blow from the Extreme Tao Emperor weapon. Containing the power of the great emperor, once hit, you will definitely be shattered to pieces. But, I can't move, the emperor's power suppresses me. The elder of the Chongqi tribe said in panic and horror. His own aura has been locked by the Extreme Tao Emperor weapon. And with the imperial power of the fighting Saint Emperor, how can he, a great saint, escape? Boom! The golden hoop fell. It emitted immortal fairy light and smashed towards the elder of the Chongqi tribe with lightning speed. There was no surprise. Under one stick, the void was shattered, and the buildings on the ground that stretched for thousands of miles also evaporated in an instant. It was even more terrifying than the detonation of a nuclear bomb. And the elder of the Chongqi tribe died on the spot. Not even ashes were left, and completely disappeared between heaven and earth. Kill him, kill him. If you have any objections, you can attack the Holy Ape Valley. I'm waiting for you at any time. The fighting ape emperor was full of domineering and talked. This stick not only killed a great saint, but also made the former Holy Ape lineage famous. Everyone around was extremely shocked. Staring at this scene in a daze, it took a long time for him to come back to his senses. After saying these two words, the Ape King of Fighting waved his hand and left the place with Saint Emperor. At this moment, the entrance to the secret realm, where no one had appeared for a long time, the flickering bright light instantly dissipated. The supreme secret realm disappeared out of thin air. It was like a sudden arrival, coming and going in a hurry. Instead, Wong Tang appeared from it. Hiss, what about Chaos Body? How can it run so fast? It disappeared in a blink of an eye. Wong Tang looked around and muttered to himself. After accepting the supreme divine treasure, his attention was on Li Feiyu. He vaguely felt that this person would definitely become his opponent in the future. So when he teleported out, his eyes were always on Chaos Body. He had no idea what was happening outside. When seeing Wong Tang coming out, the Teoti elders and many of the Hongwang tribe's protectors, their eyes lit up. It was as if they had seen an enemy they hadn't seen for 100 years. They rushed over all at once. Since the Dujin Saint Emperor was so powerful, he sent out the Emperor weapon to take away the accomplice Saint Emperor Z. Then Wong Tang, the main culprit, must not be allowed to go. I can't kill that dead monkey. I'll kill you first while you come out. Many great Hongwang people used terrifying killing moves and rushed towards the weak Wong Tang. Among them, the attacks of the Teoti and Chongqi tribes were the most shocking. They were too hesitant just now. This led to the fighting ape king to rescue the Saint Emperor. Now, they are ready to catch him off guard. Unfortunately, the Wong family had expected this step and made plans in advance. Boom, 3 quasi-emperor weapons were sacrificed. Like a solid barrier, they blocked Wong Tang and dissolved the attacks of the Hongwang people. I guess that you are so despicable. My Wong family announces that we will officially go to war with your Hongwang tribe and fight to the death. The 10th ancestor dodged to protect Wong Tang and spoke slowly. The 8th and 9th ancestors followed closely behind, forming a triangle to protect Wong Tang. I have to say, the triangle is indeed stable. Based on this position, no one can break through the defense of the 3 quasi-emperor ancestors. Then, under everyone's gaze, a strange red hair floated in the void, bringing an ominous and terrifying atmosphere. Is this red hair? No, I forgot that Wang Chendong, he can transform into a red-haired old monster. With the cultivation of Saint King, with this ominous power, it is comparable to the Great Saint realm. An old Taigu King clan was shocked and reacted immediately. When the people of the Hongwang clan turned their heads to watch, they saw Wang Chendong stimulated the blood in his body and transformed into a red-haired monster. Like wearing a bright red gilded suit, opening his red claws, he rushed into the crowd behind the Hongwang clan with murderous intent. And his goal, very clear, all the remaining prodigy of the Hongwang clan who survived from the secret realm. Since you don't follow the rules, relying on the strength of the great saint quasi-emperor, you want to attack and kill my son. Then what morality do I have to talk about? Let's steal the crystal and see who kills faster. Ancestor, save me. I don't want to die, come and save me. The prince of the Taowu clan cried. But the strong men above the great saint all attacked Wong Tang at the first time. No one stayed behind, and the remaining protectors are mostly only the strength of the saint realm. The top saint king, how can they stop the red-haired Chendong? Don't come, don't, ah, 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 ah. Accompanied by screams, the Hongwang clan prodigy who came to compete for the supreme divine treasure. All died here, one claw, one. The red-haired old monster's harvesting ability is not ordinary, it is like destroying withered wood and rotten wood. It looks a bit tragic. He was chased by Wong Tang in the secret realm, and finally escaped, but was harvested and killed by his father. Oh my god, master, this red-haired old monster is really worthy of his reputation. Combat power is too terrifying, like a madman, not even a prodigy of the Hongwang tribe escaped. Bai Shaosheng hid in the dark, swallowing his saliva. At such a long distance, you can feel the terrifying source of power under the red hair. The most terrifying is the ominous power. Even if you are contaminated with a little bit, you will die, and even the great emperor can't save you. The owner of the Heavenly Secrets Pavilion conveyed the battle situation while popularizing knowledge. As long as blood is seen, it's like a bloody throat. Once the ominous power penetrates, it will be dead. Wang Chendong, our clan will fight you to the death. A great saint of the Hongwang clan roared in grief and anger. That was the hope of their clan, and it was killed by the ominous red-haired monster. Fight to the death. No need for you to say more. You first attacked and killed the emperor of our clan, and I declare war on you. One counts as one, and no one can escape. The 8th ancestor raised the quasi-emperor weapon, exuding domineering power. Declare war directly on the Hongwang clan. As soon as these words came out, the forces peeking from all directions were shocked. There were at least dozens of Hongwang clan members present, and they dared to fight directly. Only the ancient Wong family could do it. What? Wong family, you should think it through. Our Hongwang clan has also produced several great emperors, so don't be too arrogant. An old ancestor of the Hongwang clan threatened. He obviously backed down. Originally he was just talking nonsense. I didn't expect the Wong family's ancestors to be serious. Among the Hongwang people present, except for a few large tribes such as the Teodi tribe, many other Hongwang tribes are equivalent to the first-class forces of the human race. The gap with the top forces, not a little bit, facing the war of the whole clan. They now feel that the death of an emperor's son is still harmless. Arrogant, what's the matter with being arrogant? My Wong family just wants to destroy you Hongwang people. Please ask the imperial law to start the immortal war. A savage and domineering old voice came across the endless void. It instantly shocked everyone present. Just because they heard the last sentence. Start the immortal war. This is a battle that will not stop until one clan is destroyed. It can be said that the whole clan is used. And with the foundation of the Wong family, the extreme Dao Emperor weapon will definitely revive and participate in the battle. Boom. The thunder exploded, shaking the world. In the distant sky, a golden paper filled with imperial power, emitting endless rays of light. It was hanging above the void. The breath of the ancient great emperor was clearly revealed at this moment. Now there are various tribes in the wilderness. You have offended my clan's emperor son and offended the majesty of the royal family. You are guilty of a crime that cannot be punished. This emperor declares the start of the Immortal War to wipe out all the tribes in the wilderness. This is a genuine imperial law decree. It is second only to the emperor weapon. It is very useful. One of its functions is to announce the myriad worlds. The words on it are all drawn by the emperor's spirit, which is indirectly equivalent to the great emperor writing and issuing it himself. Once the imperial decree is issued, it will shock the world. All gods obey the order, and all evil will be shunned. Buzz. The next second, the golden seal characters jumped out one by one from the law decree and were neatly arranged in the void. Like the mark of heaven. Let all the forces in the myriad worlds see it clearly. Deep in the palace, in the ancestral land. Start the immortal war. The Wong family is serious this time, and even the imperial law has been invited. The people of the prehistoric tribes should be destroyed. Sha Wuming put his hands in his pockets, smiling, looking forward to the good show. He also couldn't stand the prehistoric tribe. The Wong family's move to destroy them was just what he wanted. That's hard to say. Among the prehistoric tribes that attacked the Wong family's emperor, there are 2 or 3 who can be considered king clans. The clan has the great emperor's inheritance, and the Wong family may not be able to destroy them so easily. Emperor Sha thought about it and shook his head in denial. The great emperor's inheritance. It means that the clan is guarding the emperor weapon. What's more, there are other foundations, how can they be so easily broken? But no matter what, it has nothing to do with them. Fortunately, they were not involved, otherwise the anger of both sides. None of them could bear it. The scene changed. In the territory of the great Sha dynasty, all the old monks of the Hongwang clan returned to their clans at a high speed when they saw the imperial law. Our clan is weak, so it's better to hide. It's better for the emperor's son to die than to be exterminated. An elder of the Hongwang clan whispered. Immortal war. This is no joke. If they don't prepare for it in advance, they may be the first to perish. That is any one of them. Wong family, you dare to start the immortal war, you have the courage. My Teodi clan is the first to wait for you. My clan's extreme Dao emperor weapon is not so easy to mess with. While retreating, the Teodi clan did not forget to make harsh words. As the ancient king clan of the Hongwang forces, they are not afraid of the Wong family's immortal war. At this moment, Wong Chendong lifted the red-haired state, and together with several ancestors, escorted Wong Tang back to the ancient family. Once they arrived at the territory of the Wong family, the shadows of people gathered above the small world, filling up the entire sky. There were no fewer than several million people. Various chariots, ancient boats, iron ships. They were parked in the 4 directions of southeast, northwest, and northeast, all ready for battle. The 4 Elephant Legion, ancient freaks, tribesmen above saint, and affiliated forces were all without exception, under the leadership of 15 ancestors. Holding the imperial law, waiting for Wong Tang and the others to return, they set out to start the immortal war. This grand scene naturally attracted the attention of various forces in the eastern wilderness. The Wong family has a strong foundation, worthy of being the first ancient family in the eastern wilderness. Even Saint has become a cabbage on the roadside. An ancient country lord released spiritual sense inside. It's rare to see an immortal war. This is a battle comparable to the emperor level. Let's follow and feast our eyes. An old ancestor with insufficient blood and qi in a certain sect smacked his lips. In order to watch the battle, he even opened the coffin and climbed out of it. This is a rare battle in 1,000 years. How can we miss it? While the various forces in the void were discussing spiritual sense, the void was torn apart. The 3 quasi-emperor ancestors, with Wong Tang and others, stepped out of the gap. First ancestor, we're back. This time in the supreme secret realm, I got the last divine treasure. Wong Tang did not forget his joy and stepped forward to share. Good, Tanger. Well done, this immortal war has begun. It is the time to show the prestige of our Wong family. It can also improve your reputation. You can come with us to destroy those arrogant Hongwang people. The first ancestor patted his shoulder and said affirmatively. The next second, a decree second only to the extreme Tao Emperor weapon was integrated into his body by the first ancestor. Different from the previous imperial law, this one is even more brilliant. It contains extraordinary imperial power, and is obviously the latest creation before the great emperor passed away. It is also a special defensive law. It can withstand 10 full-strength attacks from the quasi-emperor. It is the second most precious treasure of the Wong family. Just at this moment, dong, a roaring drum sound came from the corner of the void in the east, shaking the hearts of all the Wong family members. Look, another large force is coming. Which force is it? Someone pointed to the east and reminded. Roar. A series of beast roars sounded, causing everyone to turn their heads. The next moment, hundreds of thousands of giant beasts, pulling countless ancient chariots, slowly appeared in everyone's sight. In the center, there was a drum supported by a tripod. There were more than a dozen auspicious beasts depicted on it, and the largest one was a one-legged ferocious bull. The drum vibrated by itself. Every time it resounded, one could feel the fighting spirit rising, and countless powers poured into the body. Kuiniu War Drum. The most special war drum. It can boost everyone's morale and increase the combat power of one's own army by 1/10. The Zhang family has arrived. Looking at this, the top combat power of the Zhang family has also been brought. A saint lord looked at the flag and exclaimed, leading the army. It was the first ancestor of the Zhang family. Old man Zhang. You are so slow, I almost set out with the army. The first ancestor stroked his beard and joked. Preparation was in a hurry. But I caught up. My clan has 9 legions under its jurisdiction, and all the affiliated forces are here. Quote. Including the foundation, I brought 2 trump cards. Quote. The first ancestor of the Zhang family did not shy away from the topic and spoke directly. Now even Wong Tang has been taken care of. Isn't the future father-in-law too powerful? He doesn't talk much, but he always gives his all. Who wouldn't enjoy being born into such a family? Nodded. The first ancestor and the first ancestor of the Zhang family looked at each other, and the extreme Tao Emperor weapon in their hands shone brightly. 1 + 1 = 2. The terrifying beams merged together. The imperial power in it increased by 2 times, and the recovery burst out with astonishing terrifying power. Boom, with one blow. The 2 ancestors locked onto the territory of the prehistoric tribe and created a straight void passage out of thin air. Then, they led the way. The armies of the 2 ancient families followed behind and marched in with great momentum. All troops attack. The target is the territory of the prehistoric tribe. Quote. In an instant, tens of millions of armies of the 2 tribes. Together they poured into the void channel and landed in a corner of the universe in the blink of an eye. This universe is the territory of the Hongwang tribe. There are hundreds of races of all sizes, and they each have their own small world. Hidden everywhere. If they just hide, it will take them a lot of time to find them. But unexpectedly, several Hongwang tribe populations, led by the 2 major king clans, Teodi and Chongqi, have been waiting for the Wong family for a long time. I didn't expect it. You didn't hide, but resisted, but it saved us the trouble of searching. The first ancestor was a little surprised. But he was not afraid at all. No matter how they struggled, they couldn't cause any big waves. They could only be wiped out by them in one fell swoop. There are many more things you haven't thought of. Perhaps, it was a wrong choice for you to start the Immortal War. We will definitely destroy you today. The Teodi clan ancestor snorted coldly. In this endless war, they must use all their trump cards. Otherwise, only the extinction of the clan awaits. The next moment, there was a loud bang. A mottled rusty copper umbrella flew out of the small world of the Teodi clan. The Teodi clan extreme Tao Emperor weapon. Immortal copper umbrella. As the big umbrella opened, several wisps of immortal light burst out from the inside instantly. And a strong suction force also followed. Collect it for me. The Teodi clan emperor flew out from the ancestral land. He exerted great magic power. He attacked with the emperor weapon. With the cultivation of Saint King, he is the direct descendant of the ancient Teodi emperor. When using the immortal copper umbrella, the emperor weapon, the power can be increased several times. Almost like the Teodi ancient emperor came here in person. A little closer in the army. some monks from affiliated forces with low cultivation. They were directly sucked into the umbrella in one breath. If they could not escape in time, they would die in a moment. Their bodies turned into a pool of blood. You want to take people with a broken umbrella? Look at my clan's emperor killing spear, I'll smash it for you. The first ancestor was not willing to be outdone and shouted. The next moment, the extreme Dao emperor weapon in his hand also recovered rapidly under the guidance of the blood. Buzz. The spear rang and the rays of light shone. The terrifying emperor killing spear, thrown by the first ancestor quasi-emperor's cultivation. It rushed towards the immortal copper umbrella in the void. Clang. Two emperor weapons collided. It burst out with shocking energy. It tore the surrounding void apart, and even many barren planets were blown into pieces. It's so exciting. This is the battle between apex-level forces. You can die without regrets just by watching it. There are powerful people from the Imperial forces who are amazed. They don't even need to wear sunglasses. The dazzling light makes people excited. It's really exciting. It's a pity that I don't have the blessing to use Emperor weapon, otherwise I can fight 10 quasi-emperors alone. A fossil-level ancestor spoke confidently. Look carefully. This old guy is the one who crawled out of the coffin before. It's obvious. He is daydreaming, not to mention that most Emperor weapons require sufficient vitality to activate. Just say that the power of the recoil is not something that ordinary great saints can control. It really proves that statement. When I get old, I will also talk nonsense. Back to the battlefield. As the Emperor killing spear with the highest attack in the myriad worlds, it is a top weapon among extreme Dao Emperor weapons. It is almost close to Immortal weapon. In the stalemate. Gradually suppress the Teodi tribe's immortal copper umbrella. Just say that your umbrella is broken. Let's see how long you can hold on. Today, I will definitely destroy your entire tribe. The first ancestor's muscles trembled and sneered. Invisibly, the spear in his hand attacked more fiercely. Moved forward a few more points. Indistinctly, the tip of the immortal copper umbrella gradually developed a lot in the direction of the obtuse angle. HMPH, don't be arrogant. Emperor weapon is a little powerful, so what? I am not alone. Chongqi tribe emperor, why don't you help me? Although the Teodi tribe emperor struggled to support, he had prepared external aid. He was still arrogant and confident. And under his call for help, the light of immortal Dao also burst out in the Chongqi tribe's small world. The next moment, the Chongqi tribe emperor rushed out with extreme Dao emperor weapon. Merge with the Teodi clan king. Adhering to the concept of 1 + 1 = 2, the advantage that the first ancestor had just pressed over was reversed again. 2 against 1. Do you really think I'm just a decoration? Old man Wong, I'll help you and kill these two young people who don't follow martial ethics. The first ancestor of the Zhang family couldn't stand it anymore. Turning his palm, the Hengyu oven suddenly appeared above his head, and the hot and blazing imperial fire sprayed everywhere. Boom! 4 extreme Dao Emperor weapons collided. The terrifying energy that erupted was 10 times stronger than before. It directly made the people watching the battle around. They couldn't open their eyes. You know, there is only one great emperor in each life, and each great emperor has only one emperor weapon. Now the 4 are gathered. It is rare to see 2 against each other. At this time, Wong Tang, who was watching the battle below, seemed to have thought of something and shouted, "My fellow ancestors, the emperor weapon of the Hongwang clan has been restrained. Let's rush over in one fell swoop and destroy the small world of the Hongwang clan first." His eyes opened. The years kept getting chaotic. Immediately, the black light of destruction shot out several divine weapons, piercing many weak monks of the Teodi clan. Fortunately, he had foresight, knowing the importance of stealing the house and dismantling the crystal. Once Wong Tang reminded him. The 17 ancestors and the remaining ancestors of the Zhang family all reacted instantly. With the combat power of more than a dozen quasi-emperors. With the tens of millions of monks behind them, how could these two king clans resist? As for the small Hongwang clan mixed in, the power is small. It can be ignored. By the way, just block the wild monsters and brush them. Okay, my son is right. Destroy their nest first, everyone rush in with me. Don't leave a single member of the Hongwang clan. Wang Chendong roared with red eyes. Then, his red hair grew wildly. With the help of the unknown power in his body, he once again transformed into a red-haired monster with combat power comparable to that of a great saint. He led the way. He rushed into the Hongwang clan camp and killed everywhere. 2 or 3 quasi-emperors with insufficient blood. There are also a group of great saints who want to stop us. They are simply courting death. The second ancestor glanced around and sighed. Although the Teodi clan and the Chongqi clan are the ancient king clans, and even the great emperors have appeared, but the top combat power is retained. Even the Zhang clan, which is at the end of the ancient family, can't compare. Boom. No extreme Dao emperor weapon is needed. The attacks launched by the quasi-emperor soldiers alone were too much for the quasi-emperors of the 2 great king clans to handle. Directly blew up a planet. There was also a gap in the quasi-emperor realm. And the ancient freaks, various legions, and affiliated forces under their jurisdiction, also moved forward effortlessly. Among them, each of the 4 symbols legion of the Wong family was a saint realm. Composed of azure dragon, white tiger, vermilion bird, black tortoise. The 4 formations attacked and killed forward. Wherever they went, there would be corpses of the great wilderness clan. I surrender, I surrender. I don't want to die, don't kill me, ah, ah. Screams one after another resounded in the small worlds of the 2 king clans. As for the small worlds of some weak great wilderness clan, they were directly flattened. In the void, countless intertwined divine thoughts were shocked by this scene. Too tragic. This Wong family is really going to be exterminated. The 2 ancient families have joined forces and have no power to resist. The head of a large family sighed. It feels a bit like a saint. This is the immortal war. Either one side is destroyed, or both sides are injured. The Holy Lord of Yaokai rarely released his spiritual sense and sighed. Even if he practiced the supreme art. Watching this tragic scene with his spiritual sense, he couldn't help but feel a little throbbing in his heart. This is clearly a one-sided massacre. Chapter 41. Wong family, you deserve to die. If you dare to destroy my Teodi clan, then you will also die here today. The Teodi clan king was furious. He watched his clan members die, but he was powerless. In a rage, he urged the emperor weapon in his hand to retreat and blocked in front of his body. Blood sacrifice, wake up the emperor corpse. Blood sacrifice. Teodi clan king, are you crazy? Once the blood sacrifice of your clan's emperor corpse is revived, it will kill everyone it sees. What do you want me to do? The Chongqi clan king took back the emperor weapon and asked hurriedly. Regarding the hidden emperor corpse. Before the war, the Teodi clan king gave him the bottom line. Originally, they planned to use one emperor weapon to delay the Wong family, and then use another emperor weapon to guide the emperor corpse to attack. But they never thought the Wong family's extreme Dao emperor weapon was too terrifying. And the Zhang family supported it. As a result, the Teodi clan king was forced into a desperate situation, and the blood sacrifice of the emperor corpse was intended to die together. I'm not crazy. I don't want anyone to leave today. The Teodi king was bleeding from all 7 orifices, with a hideous face. This Teodi king was too cruel. He would rather die together than live and escape. And he planned to not let his allies go. Bang! The flesh and blood disintegrated, and the soul light extinguished. Under the blood sacrifice of the immortal copper umbrella, the body of the Teodi king turned into blood mist inch by inch. Then gathered into a ball. With his unwilling will and murderous hatred, he flew into the ancestral land of the Teodi clan. Boom! In an instant, a substantial killing intent, mixed with immortal bloodlight, broke out from the Teodi clan's small world. Not good. Everyone quickly exit the small world. Wong Tang thought it was not good, and shouted to the army anxiously. Although he didn't know what happened, through his ancient dual pupils' brief peek. In the Teodi clan's small world, a terrifying force is reviving, and it is beyond his cognition. After Wong Tang's reminder, although they don't know why, but under the leadership of the ancestors, they still withdrew from the small world of the Teodi clan. This is. In the void, the people watching the battle were shocked and stared at the small world in a trance. The next second, kill, kill, kill. A roar of imperial power was shaking, and the world was shaking, as if the entire universe was about to be overturned. Be careful, this is an emperor's corpse, awakened by blood sacrifice, and it will be wiped out once it approaches. The first ancestor shouted a warning, holding the emperor-killing war spear, desperately blocking the void. Trying to exile the small world to the depths of the universe. But the emperor's corpse has completely awakened. And with the will of the Teoti clan king, it suddenly broke free from the small world. Bang! The small world exploded. A white-clothed, blood-red emperor's corpse floated in the void. The imperial power continued to radiate from his body. It made the soul tremble. Die! The emperor's corpse spoke the truth, and stretched out his dry big hand. Thousands of imperial laws fell, and strands of imperial power carried the chaotic air. The nearest Changqi clan world. It was crushed with a bang. All the dead Changqi clan members turned into blood and qi. They were absorbed by the emperor's corpse. No. My clan members. The Changqi clan emperor vomited and cried, and screamed heartbreakingly. I wanted to join forces to resist the Wong family's immortal war and try to preserve some blood. But I never thought. The Teoti clan emperor, the crazy old sixth, stole my home. Now, he is really alone. He is the commander without any troops. He is filled with grief and anger, his eyes are red, and he rushes forward with emperor weapon. But standing in front of him is the body of the ancient emperor Teoti. Even if he has emperor weapon, how can he be the opponent of the emperor corpse? Ha! Just a slap. The Changqi clan emperor was slapped into a bloody rain. It became the nourishment of the emperor corpse. And the emperor weapon in his hand, after losing its owner, escaped into the depths of the universe and disappeared. This is bad. The emperor corpse after the blood sacrifice absorbed so much flesh and blood, including 2 quasi-emperors. I am afraid that the millions of troops of the Wong family and the Zhang family will be lost here. A great elder quasi-emperor said with a pale face. The Teoti clan hid an emperor corpse. It was something they did not expect, and it was successfully revived. The power to crush a small world with a raised hand. Who can resist? The ancient great emperor, the peak of the universe. This sentence is not a joke. The worst is not this. Once the creatures of this universe are killed, the emperor's corpse will kill along the way, and then all the myriad worlds will be hard to escape. A powerful person from an ancient race said worriedly. At this moment, the emperor's corpse is accumulating strength. His eyes flickered with the emperor's fire, flickering. While his eyes flickered, looking for the nearby small world of the prehistoric tribe. Although he is an emperor's corpse who only knows how to kill, he is still the physical body of the ancient emperor Teoti. In the middle of millions of troops, and countless prehistoric tribe small worlds, it must give priority to killing the prehistoric tribe to replenish the blood and flesh it needs. If the absorbed blood reaches saturation, it can perform the real great emperor's killing move. I'm afraid that in an instant, no race can resist the power of the emperor's corpse. Ancestor, what should we do now? The breath of this emperor corpse is rising. If we don't stop him, we will all die here. Wong Tang couldn't help his temper and asked anxiously. The millions of troops brought by the 2 ancient families could not evacuate quickly. Once the movement was too big, maybe the emperor corpse's attack target would be diverted. This, if it was in our Wong family, it would be easy. In the universe of the prehistoric clan, it might be difficult to deal with this emperor corpse. The first ancestor frowned and sighed. In the ancestral land of the Wong family, there is the most terrifying great emperor background. It is used when the clan is exterminated. It can completely stop the emperor corpse. But the disadvantage is that it has a limited range. In this area, it is impossible to stop the emperor corpse from killing. Bang! Boom! With the waving of the emperor corpse, ancient stars were destroyed and turned into pure blood. The screams were terrifying. Seeing the emergency, the first ancestor of the Zhang family beside him pulled Wong Tang over and said seriously, "Great-grandson-in-law, in addition to the emperor weapon, I also brought another trump card of the Zhang family, which I keep as a backup. It's no use now, but I need to borrow your heaven-defying body." With the help of the body, Wong Tang was a little confused. But seeing that the emperor's corpse's target shifted to the armies of the 2 clans, Wong Tang didn't care so much. He nodded in agreement. Come on, it's okay to borrow the body. As soon as the voice fell, the first ancestor of the Zhang family flashed with golden light between his eyebrows. A clan pattern outlined by a law instantly appeared in the center of his eyebrows. Whoosh! The next moment, A paper talisman containing the breath of the great emperor, under the guidance of the first ancestor of the Zhang family's blood essence, slowly sank into Wong Tang's body. Supreme Divine King, you have fought bloody battles for the Zhang family, and you have sacrificed the future of the Zhang family. Please fight for your people again. The first ancestor of the Zhang family knelt on the ground, looking up to the sky and crying. And the person he was kneeling to, it was Wong Tang, who had a dull look in his eyes, standing in front of him blankly. In the eyes of the gods of various forces in the void, this might seem very funny. The tens of millions of troops of the two clans, they were also a little confused. But the first ancestor, who was watching everything next to him, knew clearly what happened in a short time. At this moment, the mental power called by the first ancestor of the Zhang family, it turned into a vast ocean. It surged and turbulent. It poured into the golden paper talisman in Wong Tang's body. Boom! A huge force gathered from all directions and swept into Wong Tang's body and his realm. Starting from the Four Extremities realm, it continued to climb upwards. Instantly reached the quasi-emperor realm. Just like eating xuanmai, he couldn't stop at all. What's going on? Wong Tang's cultivation has skyrocketed too much. Is it possible that he used a secret method? An old immortal strongman exclaimed. If there is no reasonable explanation, he might be so angry that he vomits blood. The realm that he has cultivated for a lifetime. Wong Tang arrived in an instant. No, it's not a secret method. Even if it is a secret method, it can't stop the emperor's corpse. He should be using his physical body to summon the great emperor's residual spirit. Look at his realm, it's still rising. Yao Kai Saint Lord is knowledgeable and explained. His real body couldn't stand the loneliness and came directly to the Hongwang clan universe to watch the battle. Not only him, the helmsmen of many forces also came to this world in person. Even brought their own divine child saintess. This emperor-level battle, if you can observe it closely, you will have unexpected gains. By chance, you can also feel a hint of the opportunity to become an emperor. Master, will Wong Tang be okay? Will the remnant of the great emperor enter his body and burst his body? Yan Ruyu looked worried and anxious. She didn't want her child to be born without a father. No, the remnant of the great emperor uses his body to fight, and at most he will be exhausted for a few days. The Lord of Yao Kai waved his hand and denied it. Yan Ruyu breathed a sigh of relief when she heard this. But the panicked question just now almost exposed the secret, leaving the Lord of Yao Kai puzzled. Oh, right, why are you suddenly concerned about this Wong family's son? Do you know each other? This rhetorical question caught off guard. Ah, Master, we met in the Supreme Secret Realm, and he seems to be a good person. Yan Ruyu dodged her eyes and said hesitantly. Obviously. It didn't convince the Lord of Yao Kai. Just wanted to continue asking questions. Boom. Suddenly, a loud noise interrupted her thoughts. Wong Tang, who was sitting cross-legged, was covered with golden light, and endless chaotic haze enveloped his whole body. As if walking in the long river of time. Every movement, it affected the laws of heaven and earth. The world was trembling. At this moment, even the emperor's corpse was attracted. Surprisingly, it stopped attacking to seize blood food. Instead, it took a step back as if facing a great enemy. Lifeless eyes, staring blankly at Wong Tang in the distance. The next moment, his face changed back and forth, and in full view of everyone. He became an ordinary-looking man. But his sharp eyes like an eagle, and the domineering aura, made people feel extremely excited. What year is it today? Wong Tang slowly stood up and spoke domineeringly. Great Emperor, the great emperor of my clan. The Zhang family members knelt down and recognized the residual spirit possessed by Wong Tang. It was the great emperor of their clan. Divine King. Zhang Taishu. Great Emperor, please help. Stop the killing of the emperor's corpse, otherwise all the people of my Zhang family will perish here. The first ancestor of the Zhang family bowed his head and begged. Hearing this, Zhang Taishu closed his eyes and understood everything that happened in an instant with the help of Wong Tang's body. 3 major physiques in one body. Such a terrifying talent, even I have never seen it. Boy, the future is yours, and your achievements will be many times greater than mine. He did not respond immediately. Instead, Talent, who was shocked by Wong Tang, talked to Wong Tang, who was staying on the side of his body through the air. These two compliments, it made Wong Tang a little embarrassed. Senior Zhang Taishu, you think too highly of me, I still need to work harder. Suddenly, roar, kill you. The emperor corpse was angry and rushed towards Zhang Taishu, who was possessed by Wong Tang. Blood sacrifice emperor corpse, no spiritual sense. Just an empty hole, nothing to be afraid of. Suppress. At this moment, Zhang Taishu's eyes were bright, and a blazing light burst out. A word of truth was spoken. The universe trembled constantly. And the Hengyu furnace in the hands of the first ancestor of the Zhang family also flew into his hands at the first time. Countless emperor fires, under the continuous birth, they gushed out, burning the murderous emperor corpse. Although this emperor corpse has no spiritual sense, it is still the body of the great emperor. With my residual soul, even with the help of the desolate ancient saint body, it is difficult to destroy it. It can only be temporarily sealed and exiled to the depths of the universe. Zhang Taishu said bluntly without hesitation. In the past, he had experienced a great war, which caused Emperor Weapon to self-destruct and his soul to suffer indelible trauma. The residual soul that was summoned this time, the power is also very limited. The implication is that it can only be truly dealt with after the great emperor of this life. After all, the contemporary great emperor who is still alive, the imperial way of killing moves in the attack, contains the way of the ancient great emperor. Only in this way can the great emperor's body be destroyed. Boom! The body shook the world, and the furnace fire burned. Under the guidance of Zhang Taishu, every drop of the pure energy of the golden ancient holy blood, all gathered on the Hengyu furnace. Go for me! With a loud shout, Emperor Weapon flew out. Directly opened a bottomless void passage. This is the passage to the end of exile, almost equivalent to the endless abyss purgatory. The next second, the wave-like flames swept the Emperor's corpse and poured into the dark passage. Solved. The Emperor's corpse was exiled. Everyone was overjoyed. Such an unmatched enemy was finally dealt with. And in the distance above the void, the various forces watching the battle were already stunned and feasted their eyes. This is the power of the great emperor. Sure enough, the foundation is strong. As for the emperor's corpse, it is simply not something we can match. The ancestors of a major sect were very emotional. Even with a good cultivation, they are still not as good as the great emperor's Taoism in terms of foundation. The ancient family is still better. Even if the remnant spirit of the great emperor of the Zhang family is possessed, it is easy to exile the emperor's corpse that was revived by the blood sacrifice. If they deal with our forces, it will definitely be as easy as cutting melons and vegetables. Another ancient country leader made a detailed analysis. After this immortal war, for them, the first and second-rate forces, they have also recognized the situation. They have to join the Wong family. After all, the Zhang family unconditionally supports the Wong family. And the two are the great emperor's lineage. Wong Tang is a body with 3 major physiques. Even a dog can see that being a subordinate force of the Wong family is equivalent to an angel investor. At the same time, after dealing with the corpse of the great emperor, Zhang Taishu's remnant spirits gradually dissipated. Wong Tang also regained control of his body. However, he had just returned to his body. He looked as if he had been bullied by 7 female college students overnight, and his face was pale with exhaustion. He collapsed directly to the ground. What's going on? I seem to feel a little weak. You know how terrifying the blood and chi of his desolate ancient saint body are, and there are 2 other physical blessings. In such a situation, he can be exhausted to the point of weakness. It is enough to see how great the side effects of the possession of the great emperor's remnant spirit are. He has to go back and eat the 10 whips great tonic soup. And the millions of cultivators of the 2 tribes, without the obstruction of the corpse of the great emperor, began to clean up again. Some of the remaining Hongwang people, although they avoided the attack of the corpse of the great emperor, they faced their annihilation again. However, some Hongwang people, they fled their small world in advance and hid in the deeper depths of the universe. Emperor, this time we have a rich harvest. Look at the carts full of apex-level divine medicine, even treasure trees that have been nurtured for 10,000 years. The Hongwang clan has been hiding in this universe for many years, and has hidden a lot of good things. Now they all belong to us. the ancient freak Wang Mian reported with a smile. At this moment, the battle situation is basically resolved. Some old quasi-emperors who survived also fell under the siege of the ancestors of the Wang and Zhang families. Once the Immortal War broke out, blood flowed. That's no joke. And the cultivators of the two clans, they were cleaning up the treasure houses hidden by the Hongwang clan in the remaining small worlds. Roots were pulled out. Even the planted medicinal fields were dug up in one piece. There were countless chariots and ancient flying boats. But now they all belong to Wong Tang and his people. You follow them to clean up first. I am short of qi and blood. I need to go back to the tribe to rest first. Wong Tang hunched over and waved his hand. As soon as he finished speaking, he summoned Suani with great effort, lay on his back, and returned to the tribe through the void passage. Desolate ancient saint body will be short of qi and blood. No one would believe this if it was set out. But it did appear on Wong Tang. At the same time, Western Desert, Lingshan, Great Thunderclap Monastery. Lord Buddha, please allow me to go down the mountain. I want to seek justice from the Wong family. They slaughtered my Hongwang tribe members like this. I really can't calm down to practice. A man wearing a crown and a 7-treasure cassock knelt down and begged at the bottom of the hall. His original body is the Garuda. He is the chief of the Garuda tribe and the only brother of the Garuda emperor. But he converted to Buddhist gate. Now is the first Dharma protector of Buddhism. Title: Golden-Winged Great Pung Buddha. Now that the Immortal War has begun because of Wong Tang, their Garuda clan has also been implicated. That's why they are indignant and want to take revenge. Dharma protector, don't be anxious. The Wong family has killed too many people. We should take the lead in condemning it. But you can't go. Although your cultivation is at the peak of the Great Saint realm, it also gives them a reason to take action. In my opinion, we should issue a decree of condemnation from Lingshan, and then let the Buddha go to fight with the prince of the Wong family. The Buddha sitting above said slowly. Let the Buddha go. Buddha, the prince of the Wong family has 3 major physiques. How can the Buddha be his opponent? The golden-winged great Pung Buddha spread his hands and said puzzledly. No, no, the Buddha is from the ancient monk lineage and is powerful. The Dharma protector should not encourage others to lose his prestige. Besides, the prince of the Wong family is weak. If he accepts the challenge, he will be the one who fails. If he doesn't accept the challenge, then their Wong family will be labeled as cowardly. This will undoubtedly increase the reputation of our Lingshan. The Buddha answered confidently. After a long time. He has a lot of bad ideas. Let his own Buddhist son go while Wong Tang is weak, so that the other party can't bully the weak. Only Wong Tang can fight. Once he loses, then their Buddhist sons will become famous in one fell swoop. If Wong Tang is weak and doesn't accept the challenge, they will make a fuss about the condemnation of too many killings. Attract a wave of believers. It's a profit anyway. It has to be said that the monks in Lingshan are all hypocritical people. They say good all day long. In fact, they are darker than anyone else in their hearts. Buddha son, just go. Go challenge the prince of the Wong family on behalf of the guardian. The Buddha looked aside and continued. The next moment, a monk with a shiny bald head, wearing a simple patchwork robe. He silently chanted the Buddha's name. He walked out from the side of the hall. He was the Buddha of Lingshan. Jin Chanzi, don't worry, Buddha. The prince of the Wong family is full of killing. I will definitely defeat him and convert him to Lingshan to repent. If not, I swear I will not return to the mountain. Jin Chanzi clasped his hands together and said seriously. His mind is more powerful than the Buddha. He actually thought of bringing Wong Tang to Lingshan to be a monk. It's really a wild idea. No wonder he can't grow hair on his head. As the hypocritical condemnation of Lingshan spread, Wong Tang, who was recuperating in the ancestral land. He also received the information at the first time. Tanger, your own blood and qi have not recovered yet. In my opinion, it's better not to fight. Wait until you recover, then it's not too late to defeat him. Wang Chendong said earnestly. It's not that he doesn't have confidence in Wong Tang, but the great emperor's residual spirit consumes too much energy. It greatly affects Wong Tang's desolate ancient saint body's qi and blood. Western Desert Buddhist. Dad, he's just a bald monk, just accept the challenge. Even if he is weak and hasn't recovered, beating him is as easy as crushing an ant. Wong Tang swallowed and spit out liquid spirit qi, domineering. Tanger, you don't know. The Lingshan Buddhist is the strongest ancient monk lineage in Buddhism, with the body of an ancient monk. It is said that after 9 lives of mortal training, half of his foot has been transformed into the body of 10,000 Buddhas. Father is still afraid. Before he finished speaking, Wong Tang raised his left hand and interrupted him. Dad, you go out first. Wait until I absorb more spirit qi. Hearing this, Wang Chendong had no choice but to nod in agreement and turn to leave the depths of the ancestral land. And Wong Tang at this moment, invisibly entered a mysterious state. Being possessed by divine King Zhong Taishu is not only a disadvantage of weakness. On the contrary, it brings a great opportunity. It seems that there are a lot of great emperors' marks left in my body, which are priceless treasures. It seems that the laws that flowed into my body when I used the emperor weapon to exile the emperor's corpse were left behind. Wong Tang looked inward and muttered to himself. He briefly experienced the realm of the great emperor before. With the remnants of the marks, his enlightenment was like riding a rocket. At this moment, even if he could comprehend the divine ability out of thin air, it would be fine. But Wong Tang didn't want to miss this opportunity. He had to deal with the arrival of Lingshan Buddha. And the only way was to comprehend the divine treasure obtained in the supreme secret realm. 6 Paths of Reincarnation Fist. With the gift of divine King Zhong Taishu. This mysterious feeling, although it only lasted for a moment, it was enough for Wong Tang to comprehend the 6 Paths of Reincarnation Fist in a short period of time. Time flew, and a few days passed. One day, the small world outside the Wong family. An uninvited guest arrived. It was Jin Chanzi, the Buddhist disciple of Lingshan, who came to challenge Wong Tang at the order of the Buddha. Wong Tang, come out quickly. You have committed so many murders, I want to convert you to Lingshan to repent for your sins. Jin Chanzi shouted in a high-pitched voice, gushing out like a lion's roar. The taste of provocation was full. There was no trace of the demeanor of a monk at all. More like a bandit, and under his crotch, riding a fearless lion. It also opened its bloody mouth and roared at the small world of the Wong family. Hearing Jin Chanzi's provocative words, boom, in the ancestral land, Wong Tang, who closed his eyes in nurturing spirit, suddenly summoned the ancient beast Suani. He sat on its back. He slowly walked out of the small world. Behind him, Wang Chendong and a group of ancestors stood in the void to support the formation. You are Jin Chanzi, a Lingshan Buddhist who has the body of an ancient monk. Wong Tang looked at the monk in front of him and asked in confusion. This Jin Chanzi said he was a monk, but he looked more like a beggar. The patchwork robes he wore were no different from those sewn with rags. He even suspected, could the monks in the western desert be the transformed beggars sect? Amitabha, I am the poor monk. Donor Wong, although this is the first time we meet, I see that you and I have a predestined relationship in the West. If you are willing, you can follow me and become a monk in Lingshan. Jin Chanzi silently chanted the Buddha's name, shamelessly saying. This almost made Wong Tang piss himself. He wanted to kidnap someone as a hostage just because he had a predestined relationship in the West. Could it be that he was too vegetarian and lost his mind? He actually wanted him to become a monk. So hypocritical. In the distance, the powerful people from all sides who heard the sound could not help but take a breath of cold air. This Buddhist from the western desert is really daring to speak. He dared to make such an unreasonable request. Fortunately, his cultivation is low, otherwise the old guys of the Wong family would definitely kill him on the spot. The first ancestor of the Zhong family stepped into the crowd of people communicating. He was a rare spectator. Wong Tang is the treasure of the Wong family, the flower held in the hands of the 18 ancestors. Anyone who heard it would be angry. You, where did you come from, you bald ass, and you want to convert my master to become a monk? You are dreaming. Suani was so angry that he bared his teeth and cursed. Jin Chanzi, did you hear what my mount said? He represents my meaning. But since you are here to challenge me, I can promise you one thing. If you beat me, I will become a monk with you. Wong Tang responded confidently. And Jin Chanzi skipped the other words directly, only hearing the last sentence. If you win, you will become a monk with him. Wow. Converting the prince of the Wong family to Lingshan is the supreme merit. You can brag about it for several lifetimes. It is too tempting for the monk. It is more obsessed than Xingqi converting Shunji. Okay, Donor Wang, you are so straightforward, then I will not be polite. You can be careful. Jin Chanzi was overjoyed and kicked the fearless lion away. Suspended in the void. Put your hands together. Great and mighty heavenly dragon. Accompanied by a Buddhist Sanskrit, the patchwork clothes that Jin Chanzi was wearing instantly exploded into pieces, exposing his upper body. Brilliant golden light. It was as if it was made of 99K pure gold, without any impurities. The tattoo on the back of this Jin Chanzi is the same as the fallen ancient monk in the secret realm before. Wong Tang narrowed his eyes and sighed. Presumably this is the exclusive totem of their ancient monk lineage. It is normal to have a relationship in this way. Perhaps he could borrow ancient dual pupils again and copy Jin Chanzi's attack moves. Take my palm. 18 dragons subduing palms. Jin Chanzi's forehead glowed, and his left arm was raised above his shoulder. The body of the ancient monk. At this moment, a terrifying power of faith also burst out. Following roar, the 8 dragons carved on his back seemed to come alive. One after another, they flew out. There were exactly 18. Forming 18 huge Buddha palms, slapping Wong Tang standing in front of him. The body of the ancient monk is so terrifying. I only heard about it in the past, but this power is no less than the 10 special physiques in the heavens. I just don't know if Wong Tang, who is weak in blood and qi, can resist it. An ancient family patriarch sighed. Senior, just wait and see. This monk is just a showman, he will definitely not be able to beat Wong Tang. The power of faith is strong, but it is also false, only the eternal strength is absolute. Ji Taimei, the prince of the Ji family, patted his chest to guarantee. The ancestor of the Ji family standing next to him also nodded in tacit agreement. As the prince of the first family in the ancient times, he is not so easy to be defeated. Return to the front battlefield. This Jin Chanzi is also talking nonsense. It is said that he will take 1 palm, but he hit 18 palms. No martial ethics. Ambush Wong Tang, an 8-year-old comrade. It's a pity that Jin Chanzi is not Chao Feng, let alone Hong Qigong. This 18 dragon subduing palms can't do anything to Wong Tang. Monk, you are indeed stronger than that fallen ancient monk. I wanted to copy your moves to defeat you, but I changed my mind. I will use the divine treasure obtained from the supreme secret realm to make you lose with conviction. Wong Tang couldn't help but praise. To be honest, in terms of attack power, Jin Chanzi is indeed a first-class team. He, Wong Tang, recognized it on behalf of Madara-sama. In the case that the blood and energy have not been fully restored, it is very likely that he will lose to Jin Chanzi. If Wong Tang does not compete with the physical body to win. Instead, he uses the divine ability 6 Paths of Reincarnation Fist. Then, how should Jin Chanzi respond? 6 Paths of Reincarnation Fist. Boom. The next second, a thunderous sound suddenly resounded between heaven and earth. 6 huge reincarnation black holes were suspended above the void behind Wong Tang. The terrifying suction force continued to gush out from them. The surrounding sky was shaken to produce several fine cracks. As this, the divine treasure obtained from the supreme secret realm. Tanger actually understood it all in such a short time. Wang Chendong's worry turned into joy. His face was full of relief. And everyone in the distant void had their eyes as big as copper bells. Shocked. Is my time up? Why did I suddenly see something in a dream? An old ancestor of a certain sect, who was about to die, swallowed his saliva and said. He even suspected that he was about to die. That's why he had hallucinations. You know, the divine treasure in the supreme secret realm. Any kind, even the low-level divine ability technique. It is equally mysterious. To understand a little bit of it, you need a great opportunity to comprehend it within 100 years. But Wong Tang's performance, he was simply not a human. He created a miracle and mastered the divine ability in just a few days. The most important thing is that Wong Tang did not use the system. In other words, he did not cheat. Pay attention, he did not cheat. This can be said to have broken the Guinness World Record in another world. 6 Paths of Reincarnation Fist. What divine ability is this? Why is it so terrifying? Jin Chanzi was shocked and exclaimed. The 6 black holes hanging in the void made his concentrated ancient monk heart tremble. In a panic, Jin Chanzi activated the half-finished body of 10,000 Buddhas. The vision changed. The gods and Buddhas in the sky appeared and sat cross-legged behind him. The rolling Buddhist sound surrounded him. It wrapped him tightly, and invisibly brought the golden Vajra untouched by evil body. What divine ability! This is to suppress your divine ability. Wong Tang sneered, and the spells in his hand kept changing. The speed of the seal was also extraordinary. Boom! 6 black holes rotated, representing 6 different great Tao. The spells used, also different. They are the 6 paths of heaven, man, ghost, and beast. Contains the mystery of the supreme great Tao. Then, under Wong Tang's urging, 6 black holes slowly fell from the void and gathered on his fists one by one. 6 paths of reincarnation fist. Restart the cycle of reincarnation and reverse the 6 paths. Once it is used, even the great Tao cannot suppress him. The next second, Wong Tang punched out. The 6 great Tao laws raged, sweeping across the world, instantly breaking the vision behind him. Buddhas all over the sky. Whether it was thousand-hand Guanyin, the angry Vajra, or the sleeping Arhat lying cross-legged. All were smashed by Wong Tang's 6 paths of reincarnation fist. And the golden Vajra untouched by evil body of Jin Chanzi. At this moment, it shattered and broke. Puff! Jin Chanzi spat out a mouthful of blood, and the whole person flew out like a cannonball. Fortunately, the fearless lion protected the master. There was no grudge. The claws stepped on the void and ran over, and caught the seriously injured Jin Chanzi with his back. What a powerful move. You can launch such a terrifying attack without the help of your body. No, I have to retreat. He covered his chest and sighed. Jin Chanzi now. He had the idea of retreating in his heart. Originally, he planned to take advantage of Wong Tang's weakness to improve his and Lingshan's reputation. But he never thought. He lost more than he gained. Just when he was about to leave, Wong Tang moved his body and turned into a kunpeng with wings spread, flying in front of Jin Chanzi. General Yu kicked. He kicked the fearless lion carrying Jin Chanzi 8 feet away. Fearless lion, Wong Tang, what are you doing? Jin Chanzi was panicked, and his shiny forehead shrank by a few millimeters. He completely lost the calmness of a monk. He thought Wong Tang was going to kill him. But Wong Tang did not use his killing move, but stretched out his left hand and grabbed his shoulder. Jin Chanzi, you keep saying that you are destined to be with me. If I don't kill you today, I will use this Lifeng Pagoda to suppress you for 800 years. Wait for the destined person to rescue you. As soon as the voice fell, Wong Tang clenched his right hand and punched hard. A deep pit with a diameter of 5 meters was smashed on the ground not far outside the small world. Then, he picked up Jin Chanzi. Aiming at the position of the deep pit, he threw it down. Whoosh! Faster than the speed of a meteor. Less than a second later, Jin Chanzi fell headfirst into the deep pit with precision. Suppress. Wong Tang spoke the truth. He took out a tower-shaped holy weapon from his storage bag and pressed it vertically above the deep pit. This was not over yet. The next second, he opened his eyes and cast several magic arrays into the holy weapon tower. During this time, he did not forget to shoot out a golden light. Like an electric eye, the 3 words Lifeng Pagoda were written on the top of the tower. Wong Tang, let me out. Let me out quickly. Jin Chanzi howled under the tower. Just like the monsters he had suppressed in the past. It was really a matter of time. He was suppressed this year. Don't dream in vain. Let you out, it's impossible in this life, come out 800 years later. Wong Tang responded while taking out a talisman. He stuck it on the top of the tower. The shaking tower was stabilized. With this suppression talisman. Without the help of outsiders, no matter how Jin Chanzi tossed around under the tower, he couldn't make a big wave. Are you serious, Wong Tang? I warn you. If you dare to suppress me for 800 years, you will be an enemy of Eximo, and the Buddha will not let you go. Jin Chanzi panicked and threatened directly. That guy. A typical Geomoji from another world. He can't win, so he can only be tough. Aha, you still dare to threaten me. Suani, come here. Put up a toilet sign at the entrance of the tower so that everyone in the clan can use the toilet here. After all, he has to be locked up for 800 years. If he doesn't eat, he will starve to death. At the same time, In the distance, the powerful people from various forces who were watching the battle were shocked more than 10 times. The first ancestor of the Zhang family was bold. He returned to the clan halfway. After all, he was used to it. He knew the result after watching half of it. In the Wong family's small world, many clansmen and ancient freaks came forward to celebrate excitedly after Wong Tang suppressed Jin Chanzi. Congratulations to the emperor. This Jin Chanzi, known as Shifo, is the supreme of the young generation in the Western Desert. Now that he has been defeated by the emperor, it has brought honor to our ancient family. An ancient freak raised his thumb and said happily. Since ancient times, Eastern Wilderness, Western Desert, Nanling, Beiyuan, Zhongzhou. These 5 places, the young generation supremes who lead each of them will be given a unique title. That is, East God, West Buddha, South Monster, North Emperor, Central Emperor. With Wong Tang's strength, naturally, he won the title of East God. Now that he has suppressed Shifo, it means that he has swept all the young generations in the Western Desert. Emperor, I have a question. Why don't you kill him? If we keep him, he will definitely find ways to fight us when he escapes in the future. In the crowd, Scar Wang Mian couldn't bear it anymore and stepped forward to ask. For such a supreme genius, killing him is the most stable method. Why leave trouble behind? But Wong Tang waved his hand, smiled playfully, and said domineeringly. He is no longer a threat to me. He can't even beat me when my blood is weak. What kind of waves can he make in the future? What's more, the enemy who was defeated by me will never be regarded as an opponent. I will give you time to catch up until you can't see him anymore. The last sentence was particularly domineering. In every word and action. A kind of momentum that looked down on the world spread from Wong Tang. It was like the domineering aura of the overlord. Let the Wong family members who heard this at the scene. All felt the invincible spirit of the future great emperor. At this time, Su Annie had already burned a toilet sign with dragon flame. Inserted it at the entrance of Lifeng Pagoda. He also took the opportunity to urinate inside. I don't know if he was humiliated or the urine smelled a bit strange. This caused Jin Chanzi to curse louder. He didn't even say the word, poor monk. Wong Tang, let me out. I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill you. Suddenly, Wong Tang seemed to have thought of something and ordered Wang Mian on the side. By the way, tell them that those who have eaten sweets should not go to the toilet here. Don't let this monk get a taste of sweetness. Taste sweetness. This will never happen. Emperor's son, let me come. My urine is yellow, let's show him some color first. A young tribesman with an exhausted face patted his chest and said confidently. It was obviously a frequent reward. Otherwise, he would not dare to take the brunt. And as he entered, there were no accidents. Jin Chanzi's practiced high notes increased by several decibels. Emperor, there's me too. I've been practicing a technique recently, and there are a lot of stones in my excrement. It's just right to hit him. Another strong tribesman walked into the tower without saying a word. This tonnage, it must be a lot of weight. It's enough for Jin Chanzi to suffer a lot. Bang, 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 there was a sound of intense drums and drums in the tower. And, it can be clearly heard. This is the sound of stones falling. After hitting Jin Chanzi's forehead, it made a sound like knocking a wooden fish. Wong Tang, hungry, This time. Jin Chanzi at the bottom of the tower couldn't curse anymore, his mouth was obviously blocked by an unknown object. And there was a long line outside the tower. They all wanted to add warmth to Jin Chanzi. A complete manufacturing base for Lao Ba. It's really miserable. The dignified Buddhist of the Western Desert, Jin Chanzi, known as the Western Buddha, was actually suppressed in the toilet. I have to swallow feces and urine every day. Who will believe it if I tell them? In the void, the king of the ancient country of Amitabha, who was watching the battle, kept shaking his head and sighing. Although they are not Western Desert forces, but many of the cultivation methods are related to Buddhism. Naturally, they are close to the Buddhist lineage. Now seeing Jin Chanzi's situation, he can only silently chant Amitabha beside him. I have concluded it. Don't mess with the Wong family, especially this Wong Tang, otherwise there will be no good end. An old ancestor of a great sect shared his experience. Since Wong Tang was born, he has not missed any related battles, big or small. The summary is very accurate. At the same time, Lingshan, Great Thunderclap Monastery. How dare you, little boy from the Wong family. To suppress my Lingshan Buddhist in the toilet is simply a humiliation to my Western Desert Buddhism. The Buddha, who was sitting in the main hall, was so angry when he heard the news. He originally wanted to harvest a wave of believers. In the end, he lost both his wife and his army, and trapped Jin Chanzi. That was his future heir, the face of Lingshan. If he was suppressed in the toilet for 800 years, not to mention that the half-formed 10,000 Buddha's heart would be broken. Even the great emperor of this life would miss the opportunity to prove the truth. Buddha, in my opinion, we should go to war with the Wong family directly. While rescuing the Buddhist son, it is a good opportunity to avenge our Hongwang people. Golden-winged Great Peng Buddha took the opportunity to add fuel to the fire and stood up to say. This scared many bodhisattvas and arhats in the hall. Many of the angry eyes of the King Kong turned into toad eyes. You fool, you want to take revenge for selfish reasons. Don't drag us innocent people into it. Buddha Lord, the Wong family is powerful, and with the Zhang family's alliance, we must not go to war. And most of our hundreds of millions of believers don't have combat power, so they can only die in vain. The thousand-handed bodhisattva persuaded with his finger raised. Although most of the monks in the Western Desert practice Buddhism, only a small part of them have strength. Moreover, they still practice with the help of the incense of hundreds of millions of believers. The death of the believers is undoubtedly a self-destruction of their future. After thinking about it, the Buddha Lord obviously had a plan in his mind, and calmly sat back on the cushion and spoke. The thousand-handed bodhisattva is right. We can't be enemies with the Wong family. I heard that the Baiyuan Hunjia was born in the next 2 days. And their prince has said that he will also ascend the road to becoming the great emperor. It's better to hold back for a while and let them reduce each other's strength first. As for the Buddha's son, there is no danger of life now, so just ignore it and treat it as an experience. At this moment, Jin Chanzi said that he fainted in the toilet. Experience. Why don't you come to experience? To put it bluntly, he is just afraid of death. And he is reluctant to give up the offerings of hundreds of millions of believers. The scene changed. Baiyuan, Hunjia, old ancestor, why are you stopping me from leaving? The prodigy of each party has been born. I have long wanted to go out and compete with them. A sturdy young man stood in the hall and said to the old man sitting above. While speaking, the lines on the surface of the skin appeared. From the outside to the inside, it can be clearly seen that purple blood is flowing in his body. And this sturdy young man, it is the young supreme of Baiyuan, the son of Hunjia Emperor who possesses heavenly hegemony physique. Hun Zan, titled Northern Emperor, Zhan'er. This time our Hunjia is born to escort you, so we have to create a wave of momentum first. It just so happens that I, the ancestor, have an engagement contract with Yaoqi sacred land in my hand, which can be used to make a big fuss. While comforting him, the first ancestor of Hunjia took out a golden marriage certificate. I don't know what the material is, but the mottled marks are enough to show that it is very old. It was agreed by their Hunjia ancestor with the first generation of Yaoqi saintess in the distant past. It is a one-time marriage certificate. No matter when. As long as they use this marriage certificate, their Hunjia people can marry the contemporary Yaoqi saintess. This time, it's just right to use it. Yes, I heard that Yaoqi saintess is an innate Tao body. After marrying you, your heavenly hegemony physique will be cultivated several times faster. Another ancestor of the Hun family stroked his beard and comforted him. Zhan'er, the ancestors are right. If you can give birth to an heir, the chance of having a supreme physique is almost 100%. And Yaoqi sacred land is a first-class force. Marriage will be good for you to prove the great emperor in the future. Hun Zan's father couldn't help but speak. On the one hand, he wanted to hold his grandson. On the other hand, he wanted to increase the chance of creating prodigy. Everyone said something. I said something. Hun Zan was moved. And no matter how you look at it, marrying Yaoqi sacred land is 100 benefits and no harm. The next moment, Hun Zan nodded and agreed. Then I will listen to the ancestors and marry Yao Kai saintess first. In the future, I will challenge the desolate ancient saint body of the Wong family. He is the mortal enemy of my heavenly hegemony physique. If I don't defeat him, my purple blood will not be at peace. A few days later, Yaoqi Sacred Land, in the main hall. Saint of Yaoqi, this is the marriage certificate left by my wife. If you check it, can you arrange a good date? Let Saintess of Yaoqi marry the prince of my clan. The ancestor of my wife's family sat aside and handed the golden marriage certificate in his hand to Saint of Yaoqi. Then please stay for a few days. Let me choose a good date, and then prepare for the wedding together. Saint of Yaoqi took the marriage certificate helplessly and raised his hand. Then, several female disciples of Sacred Land took several ancestors of my wife's family and Hunzan himself to the rest attic. Stay for a few days. After everyone left, Yan Ruyu's face was full of grievances and anger, and she walked out from the screen behind the main hall. Master, why did you agree to them? I don't like that Hunzan, and I don't want to marry him. I don't recognize this marriage. He puffed his lips and questioned. If the man in front of her was not her master, Yan Ruyu would have cursed. Hey, master doesn't want this either. But the marriage certificate was indeed set by the first generation of the Holy Lord, and we also have a marriage certificate. Master doesn't want to force you, but as a saintess of Yaoqi Sacred Land, you can only obey. The Holy Lord of Yaoqi sighed and said helplessly. Obey, why should she bear the promise of the first generation of the Holy Lord? Typical moral kidnapping. Think about it. The Holy Lord of Yaoqi has taken good care of her since she was a child, and has also appointed her as the saintess of Sacred Land. If she would rather die than obey. Once her husband makes a fuss about this and triggers a war, it is not what she wants to see. Seeing that she was hesitant, the Holy Lord of Yaoqi stepped forward and hugged her, and continued. Master is sorry for you. But Master has no choice. For Yaoqi Sacred Land, Master can only sacrifice you. A few words. Add a few drops of natural tears. This family card instantly broke through Yan Ruyu's psychological defense. Master, I listen to you. I agree to marry my husband's son. Yan Ruyu pursed her lips and agreed with difficulty. Parents' orders and matchmakers' words. What's more, Yaoqi Sacred Lord's kindness to her has long surpassed the level of parents. Even if she is unwilling. For Yaoqi Sacred Land, she can only agree. The next second, tears rolled down from Yan Ruyu's eyes, but she did not cry out loud. On the contrary, she silently pushed Yaoqi Sacred Lord away. The expression on her face was even more indifferent and calm. Like a walking corpse, she wanted to return to her boudoir in the attic where she lived. Seeing this situation, Yaoqi Sacred Lord couldn't bear it, so he grabbed her arm and tried to explain and comfort her. But just as he held her arm, suddenly, she found that Yan Ruyu's toad sand was gone, and her pulse was not beating properly. Without waiting for her to ask, Yan Ruyu turned around and confessed, Master, I'm pregnant. Pregnant, these 3 words, it was like a bolt from the blue, shocking Yaoqi Sacred Lord. The whole person was stunned. When did this happen? Why didn't you tell Master me? This is the end of the matter. It's a self-defeating move. If she married Hunzan and was found to be a scapegoat by the latter, that would be a serious matter. Marriage fraud, and cuckolding. At that time, Yaoqi Sacred Land would definitely be ridiculed by the myriad races. It was in the supreme secret realm. I was drugged by a corrupted ancient monk, and then Wong Tang appeared to save me, and then. Yan Ruyu lowered her head and told the whole story. Her face turned red like an apple. Hiss. The background and strength of Wong Tang were not something they could afford to offend in Yaoqi Sacred Land. This is a big deal. Caught between the Wong family of Eastern Wilderness and the Hun family of Baiyuan. It became a meat sandwich. This matter can still be saved. You haven't been pregnant for long, so it's not a problem to hide it from Hunzan. As for the prince of the Wong family, he doesn't know you're pregnant, just don't mention it. The heartbeat of the Yaoqi Saint Lord accelerated, and he gave advice. Now, the main goal is to hide the truth from the world. But just when they thought it was perfect, a very fatal problem was raised. Master, this won't work. Once the child is born, the physical condition will be exposed. Yan Ruyu touched her belly and said worriedly. As soon as he was reminded, Yaoqi Saint Lord suddenly opened his eyes wide and thought of this key point. Yes. Wong Tang is desolate ancient saint body. The child born with Yaoqi Saintess innate Dao body will have the physical innate Dao body holy fetus. Once the child is born, Then the green hat on Hun Zan's head can be said to spread throughout the myriad worlds. Maybe Wong Tang will come to trouble her. Hey. We can only take it one step at a time. Let's set the wedding date first. As for the matter of the child, we'll find a way to make up for it later. Maybe. Hun Zan is not smart and it's easy to get away with it. Yao Kai Saint Lord really has no tricks inside. Now the situation is forced. This is the only solution. Take it one step at a time. Hide it if you can. At the same time. Wong family, in the Emperor's palace. Master, let's go and grab the bride. The wife used the marriage certificate to coerce the mistress. The mistress didn't want to do it at all. We can't be cowardly. Suanni lay on the ground and kept talking. Except for Wong Tang and Yan Ruyu, he was the only one who knew the ins and outs of this matter. Naturally, he would not let the wife succeed. But Wong Tang frowned and was thinking about the other side. Since he got the news, he was struggling psychologically. Wong Tang didn't know what Yan Ruyu's attitude was. What if it was really as Yan Ruyu said that day, and it was just an accident? Wouldn't he be humiliating himself if he went there? Maybe. He would expose this matter. He would go against the promise to keep the secret to saintess of Yaoqi. He couldn't go. He felt even worse. After all, it was handed over to him for the first time. How could he let others get involved while he was just staring blankly? Suddenly, a mechanical voice that he hadn't heard for a long time ringed in his mind. Ding! Congratulations to the host, the check-in location has been refreshed. New sign in location, Yaoqi Sacred Land. Yaoqi Sacred Land. It seems, even the system supports me to go. Wong Tang murmured to himself with a twitch of his lips. He was originally on the verge of entanglement, and the system's sign in location refreshed. It just tipped the scales. Choose to go to Yaoqi Sacred Land. Grab Yan Ruyu from Hun Zan's hand. Plop. Wong Tang stood up instantly, his eyes like torches, and said domineeringly, Suanni, go inform all the ancestors to accompany me to Yaoqi Sacred Land. I'm going to rob the bride. Soon. Half a month passed. On this day, in Yaoqi Sacred Land, lights and decorations were hung everywhere. All the female disciples were preparing for the wedding in an orderly manner. Even the team of guardians brought by my wife. They all joined in. And today is the wedding day of Hun Zan and Yaoqi Saintess, the two golden boys and jade girls. Old Monster Hun, congratulations, your wife is so lucky to be able to marry Yaoqi Sacred Land. An old man with a fairy-like appearance, riding a snow-backed bull, came to the gate of Sacred Land. With a wave of his hand, 10,000-year-old medicinal kings. In his casual words, they were placed on the table of the female disciple who recorded the gifts in Yaoqi Sacred Land. As the supreme overlord of Beiyuan, my wife sent out many invitations, and almost all major forces sent people with heavy gifts to Yaoqi Sacred Land. And this old man is the ancestor of an ancient family in Beiyuan. Then, in the distance, a deafening voice came from a long distance. Who said it wasn't? Even I envy your good fortune, old Monster Hun. This Yaoqi Saintess is known as one of the four beauties of the younger generation of the myriad worlds, and she has an innate Tao body. If it weren't for your wife's quick hands and feet, I would definitely propose marriage to my grandson. Everyone turned their heads to look. A dazzling ancient boat, dancing its oars in the void, flew towards Sacred Land at a very fast speed. Standing at the bow is an old man in purple, with wrinkles all over his face, but exuding a strong quasi-emperor aura. And he is the leader of the Zhui Great Sect. It is also the dominant force in Beiyuan. Second only to the level of my wife. Shiver, shiver. Come on, everyone please come in. The ancestor of my wife smiled and greeted the powerful people invited by Beiyuan to enter Sacred Land one by one. Only the Yaoqi Sacred Land Lord was full of worry. Ever since he learned that Yan Ruyu was pregnant, he had been unable to sleep or eat. Worried about an accident. Forget it. We can only take it one step at a time. After a while, envoys from many forces arrived one after another. Among them were many first and second-rate forces that were very friendly with Yaoqi Sacred Land. Even the prodigy forces with the titles of Southern Demon and Central Emperor. They also sent gifts, obviously to give face to Northern Emperor, Hun Zan. And Eximo was even more generous. He directly sent 3 bodhisattvas to attend the wedding. Not only did he give enough face to Hun Zan, He also sent a Supreme Grade 7 turn relic as a gift. Obviously he wanted to stir up the feud between him and the Wong family, so he could sit on the mountain and watch the tiger fight. As time passed, more and more forces participated in the wedding. Shouts of gifts also rang out. The deputy leader of Yin Yang sect, I send 3 pieces of red sun holy iron, wishing the 2 newlyweds a happy marriage. The ancient country of Vermilion Bird, I send a piece of Sparrow Emperor Stone, congratulating Yaoqi Saintess on her wedding. The envoy of Great Xia Dynasty, I send a page of incomplete Great Emperor Scripture, wishing a happy wedding. The owner of Tianyuan Divine Mountain, I send 10 pieces of Origin Stone, congratulating the son of Emperor Hunzan on his wedding. Gifts came one after another. The female disciple in charge of recording at the door of Sacred Land was almost hoarse from shouting. Just then, a vulgar and high-pitched shout rang out from the void outside the gate of Sacred Land. The son of the Wong family, an ancient family in Eastern Wilderness, came to celebrate and sent a coffin to the groom. I wish the son of Emperor Hunzan to die soon and be reborn soon. The voice was loud. It echoed throughout the Yaoqi Sacred Land, allowing people in every corner to hear it. It was obviously shouted by Suani's loud voice. In the back hill of Sacred Land, inside the boudoir. Wong Tang, he's coming, he's coming. Yan Ruyu covered her mouth and said to herself excitedly. Tears fell. She messed up her makeup a little. This was the scene she had dreamed of for half a month, and it actually came true. At the same time, in a loft somewhere, Wong Tang. I didn't find you, but you came to make trouble first. You dare to send me a coffin on the day of my wedding, I'll kill you. Hunjan, who had just put on half of his wedding clothes, rushed out of the loft without caring about his decent clothes. He urged the purple blood in his body. He ran to the center of Sacred Land at a very fast speed. The scene changed. The sound stopped abruptly. Boom. A shabby coffin fell from the sky and landed precisely in the center of Sacred Land. Take a closer look. There was a lot of mold on the coffin lid. It looked a bit like a coffin abandoned after an ancestor fell asleep. Mushrooms grew on it. In the void outside Yaoqi Sacred Land, Wong Tang rode on the ancient beast Suani and descended here domineeringly. Behind him, in addition to the 3 quasi-emperor ancestors who escorted him, there was also a group of guardians. Almost all of them were saint to saint king. Hiss. A stone stirred up 1,000 waves. Seeing the coffin flying in, and the posture outside Sacred Land, many representatives of the forces present all chose to avoid the show. After all, the person who sent the gift, it was Wong Tang, the son of the ancient Wong family. No one dared to provoke him. But the forces of Beiyuan were very arrogant. They lived in the extreme north and were particularly united. They could not tolerate the provocation of the Wong family. How dare you? Today is the big day of my Beiyuan prodigy, and your Wong family dares to mess with you. Don't even think about leaving until you pay a price. The leader of the Zhui Great Sect shouted. Then he soared into the air, and with a big handprint, he rushed towards the 6th ancestor. Very smart. He knew that the attack on Wong Tang would be blocked, so he directly challenged the quasi-emperor ancestor to fight. Fellow Taoist, I also want to learn some tricks. Let's see if the strength of the Eastern Wilderness Wong family is stronger than our Beiyuan is rumored. The old man with a fairy-like appearance stepped forward happily. He chose the 7th ancestor and stepped into the void to fight. Ancestor of the Hun family. Today, only you, the ancestor, will attend the wedding, so it's a good opportunity for me to compete with you. The 5th ancestor took the initiative to speak, pointing directly at the 3rd ancestor of the Hun family. I thought that the wedding would be fine. So the Hun family only sent 1 ancestor to help with the wedding, and the rest still guarded the Beiyuan nest. This gave them an opportunity. It was just right for a 3-on-3 battle. Seeing the situation getting serious, Yaoqi Sacred Lord was a little panicked and came out to ask. Wong Tang, what are you going to do? If you have a grudge against Emperor Hunzan, you can just make an appointment to fight another day. Why do you come to my Yaoqi Sacred Land to make trouble? Making trouble? I'm not here to make trouble. Yaoqi Sacred Lord. To be honest, I'm here to grab the bride today. Yan Ruyu is my woman, Wong Tang, and I won't allow her to marry someone else. And it's by coercion. Wong Tang put his hands in his pockets and spoke word by word. Especially the last sentence. When he spoke every word, his cold eyes were fixed on Yaoqi's sacred lord. It was specifically for her. Stealing the bride. You dare, you brat. You think you can steal my wife's bride? Your Wong family is almost as strong as my wife's. Think carefully. The third ancestor of the wife's family, who had just fought, sneered and mocked. With a thought, a talisman flew out of his arms. After writing something with his fingertips in the air, it burned itself to ashes. It turned into a golden light. It rushed towards Baiyuan. This is a talisman for help. It records the general process, and the people of Baiyuan's wife's family will receive it soon. Is the war going to start? We'd better stay away. The war between the two major forces of Eastern Wilderness and Baiyuan is not a joke. Seeing that the situation was not right, the forces that came to congratulate left the center of sacred land. There is no eye in the battle. If you don't pay attention. The quasi-emperor's attack fell on them. That means going straight to the west. Amitabha, I am leaving now. If I stay any longer, I will see blood and sin. The three bodhisattvas of the western desert bid farewell to the holy lord of Yaoqi. They said it so nicely. They are still afraid of death. They are even more afraid that Wong Tang will suddenly vent his anger on them because of Jin Chanzi's matter. So they just yo-yoed. By the way, they returned to the western desert to report the fight between the two parties. And the originally lively wedding scene. In a moment, it was gone, so clean that not even a hair could be seen. And many people did not leave home directly, but hid in the void far away from the battlefield to watch the battle. There will always be spectators. At the same time, Baiyuan, Hunjia, call the troops, call the troops. I have used Emperor weapon to open a void channel, everyone follow me. We must make that kid from the Wong family pay a heavy price. The first ancestor of the Hunjia was furious. Besides Hun Zan, he was the most angry that such a happy day was ruined. The emperor weapon in his hand was also humming. He wanted to join the battle quickly. As the passage was formed, Wang Chendong on the front battlefield frowned. He called on the legion behind him to get ready. He also held the jade talisman tightly in his hand, ready to call people from the clan at any time. Is my wife coming? It was calm before the storm. At this moment, the war was about to break out. Is it worth it for a woman? In this way, my wife and the Wong family have a feud that will be passed down from generation to generation. A powerful person shook his head and sighed. He didn't get to eat at the banquet. He also gave up a lot of gifts. In the end, he fled in panic. What kind of words is this? I really love your love for Mamai Mahua. Fellow Taoist, you don't understand this. Love is a wonderful thing. This Wong family prince is a man of temperament. I admire him very much. He dares to come to rob the bride, which proves that he is not afraid of anyone. There is a saint king who is boasting here, under the sweep of his eyes. Not far away, the void passage is shining brightly. It seems that the people who support the Hun family have entered it. But, speaking of this, the reinforcements of the Hun family are coming. I wonder how Wong Tang should deal with it. After a while, the first ancestor of the Hun family, who was leading the way in front, urged the emperor weapon in front of him to walk out of the passage. But when he stepped out of the void passage, boom! A dazzling long stick with gold plating. Flying from a distant place, it stood in front of the exit of the void passage. What a coincidence! It just blocked the first ancestor of the Hun family. Extreme Dao Emperor weapon. Who is he? Is he hiding his head and showing his tail? The first ancestor of the Hun family was on full alert and shouted to the surroundings. With his eyes, he naturally recognized that this was an emperor weapon. The next second, under the setting sun, a terrifying figure that looked down on the world came bathed in the warm spring breeze. The boiling golden blood, thick hair, and the extreme Dao Emperor weapon in the form of a stick. People recognized the person at a glance. It was the Fighting Ape Emperor of the Holy Ape Valley, one of the 7 life forbidden areas. Fighting Ape Emperor, you want to help the Wong family. You have to think clearly, helping him is to be an enemy of my Hun family. The first ancestor of the Hun family spoke faintly. To be honest, he was a little confused. The life forbidden area and the ancient family are not on good terms, basically even children know it. But why did the Fighting Saint Ape clan help the Wong family? And they were willing to use the emperor weapon. Stop talking nonsense. With this emperor here, you can't take a step forward today. The fighting ape emperor raised his arm, and the emperor weapon golden cudgel turned back to his palm. The invincible momentum in the world, in an instant, burst out from him. The fighting saint ape lineage is like this. People are ruthless and don't talk much. Just do it. The next moment, the first ancestor of the Han family looked like a torch, urging the extreme Dao emperor weapon, and fought with the fighting ape emperor. The man and the monkey instantly entered a white-hot battle. And the fighting ape emperor, relying on his own strength, temporarily blocked the front of the void channel. Prevented the Han family from coming out for follow-up support. At the same time, in the void outside the sacred land, Wong Tang, who was riding on the Suani, suddenly felt a pat on his shoulder. Turning his head, he saw a familiar face. Who else is it if it's not the Saint Emperor who separated from the Supreme Secret Realm? Monkey, it's you. Why did your father come to help me with the Emperor weapon? You must have called him. Thank you. Wong Tang pounded his chest and thanked him sincerely. I was right. The Saint Emperor is worth making friends with. Being a brother is in the heart. We have been through life and death together, why should we be polite? He grinned, patted his chest, and said this simply and clearly. The trip to the Supreme Secret Realm. He already regarded Wong Tang as a brother. When a brother is in trouble, how can he not come to help? Just then, below, in the Yaoqi sacred land, Han Zan, dressed in a red robe, rushed out angrily. When he looked up, he saw Wong Tang. Although the two had never met, the blue sky purple blood in his body was boiling violently. It was like meeting a mortal enemy for many years. He roared and wanted to fight. Are you Wong Tang? The owner of the desolate ancient saint body? Han Zan asked. Exactly. Wong Tang nodded in response without any nonsense. Very good, strong enough. You are worthy of being the natural enemy of my heavenly hegemony physique. My purple blood can no longer be restrained. You are qualified to become the dead soul in my Han Zan's hands. Han Zan nodded with satisfaction, and his fighting spirit was instantly high. But the next sentence from Wong Tang. It broke his defense. What? I didn't hear it clearly. Did you say your name is Han Zan, or a fool? My name is Han Zan, not a fook. Han Zan, do you remember that? Han Zan clenched his fists and shouted angrily. He really thought Wong Tang didn't hear clearly. Little did he know. Wong Tang was deliberately trying to provoke him. What? You still didn't hear clearly? You called me a fool. Wong Tang tilted his ears and spoke fluently. He was an expert in psychological tactics, and his provoking method was superb. He made him so angry that he lost his mind. If you curse again, I will tear you alive. Han Zan's purple blood boiled all over his body, and he gritted his teeth. The next second, his momentum suddenly rose. The fighting spirit and strength of heavenly hegemony physique were raised to the extreme by Han Zan. Boom! 9 terrifying visions. They appeared one by one behind him, rendering half of the sky purple. Kunpeng divine form, Da Zhong Dao body, true dragon dharma body, phoenix feathers, tyrant body ancestor dragon, snake tail, white tiger claws, phoenix wings, Kirin armor, black tortoise back. Different from other visions, heavenly hegemony physique vision behind Han Zan. All are beast god forms. A wild breath came to the face, revealing the blood of the essence of the flesh. Extremely strong, indestructible, tyrant body vision. This is a vision comparable to the sacred body, and it also has a suppressive effect on monks. Today I've opened my eyes. Not far away, there was a powerful monster race, staring at the god form vision with scarlet eyes. This is the physique that they monster race most desire. Any kind of god form. If it is used in conjunction with the main body to attack, the combat power can be increased by at least several times. This is destined to be a great battle. Sacred body and tyrant body have long been mortal enemies, and they are both invincible at the same stage. Let's see who is stronger between the two of this generation. A fossil-level ancestor spoke curiously. It was like watching a beast fight. Gold blood versus purple blood. It makes people look forward to it. Whoosh! In an instant, Han Zan Kang Tian tyrant blood was agitated, and with a loud shout, black and white lines appeared on his left arm. Transformed into the white tiger claw, one of the 9 divine forms. Wong Tang, die! The sharp white tiger claw stretched out and attacked Wong Tang's 8-year-old forehead. A dodge. Wong Tang avoided the attack with the help of Kunpeng treasure technique. But the white tiger claw still rubbed his scalp. A few drops of golden holy blood dripped down. It is indeed quite powerful. Even the Kunpeng treasure technique, which is famous for its speed, almost failed to dodge your vision attack. Wong Tang waved his hand to heal the wound on his forehead, and said seriously, "This heavenly hegemony physique, it is indeed not to be underestimated. Among the physiques of the myriad worlds, it is a physique that is on par with the desolate ancient saint body. Elaborate, one force breaks all methods. Pursue the ultimate of the flesh. Not only is it invincible in the same level of combat power, but it also has a certain restraint on all divine abilities. The best way to fight is to punch to the flesh, using the blood and chi power of the desolate ancient saint body. It can defeat it completely. And heavenly hegemony physique is exactly the same as desolate ancient saint body. The only difference and slightly stronger than sacred body is the 9 visions of heavenly hegemony physique. It can not only suppress cultivators at the same level, but also act on the physical body to engage in pure combat. Destruction black light. Wong Tang opened his eyes and shouted. Then, on the 2 universes in his pupils, complicated runes continued to gather and take shape. A golden spear was shot out. The breath was terrifying. It was several times more powerful than what Wong Tang had used before. And this spear was extremely fast. It concealed the materialized killing intent and arrived in front of Hun Zan silently. What? Hun Zan was shocked and noticed the spear. Subconsciously, he raised his arms, crossed them into a cross, and collided with the destruction black light that had turned into a spear. Clang! The power of destruction bloomed and pierced Hun Zan's arm. The purple blood containing the majestic breath of life dripped down along the wound. The next second, bang! Hun Zan's veins bulged, and scales covered his arms, forming a defensive unicorn armor. Instantly bounced off the destruction black light attack. Great divine ability. It can actually hurt my heavenly hegemony physique. This attack doesn't have the aura of desolate ancient saint body, it should be one of your other 2 physiques. Hun Zan took a deep breath and analyzed. He had heard about Wong Tang's 3 physiques a long time ago. But he had never seen it in person. And the divine ability just now could hurt him, which was enough to prove that his heavenly hegemony physique was no less than his. If he hadn't reacted quickly, I'm afraid it wouldn't be as simple as a minor injury. You guessed right, it's not polite to not reciprocate. It's fairer for everyone to get scratched. Wong Tang said calmly with confidence. Don't be arrogant. My 9 divine forms haven't been fully displayed yet. Hun Zan snorted coldly. As soon as the voice fell, a snake tail suddenly appeared behind him, and it swung towards Wong Tang with a slender and powerful force. Bang! Wong Tang dodged. Take advantage of this gap. Hun Zan spread his phoenix wings, and with the help of Kunpeng Godspeed, he quickly came to Wong Tang's side. True Dragon Claw. Hun Zan's arm turned into a dragon claw, and he attacked without hesitation. This is the origin of heavenly hegemony physique. It is much stronger than Long Aotian's previous ancestral dragon claw divine ability. Swish. Extreme power. Attacked with the divine form of dragon claws. The void in all directions was distorted, which was enough to show the horror of the Kang Tian Ba Shui lineage. Ancient dual pupils, open. Wong Tang's eyes were bright, and the yin and yang energies flowed in his eyes. He was constantly spying on Hun Zan's every move. At this moment, although Hun Zan's true dragon claw was terrifying, in the eyes of Wong Tang ancient dual pupils, it was as if it had slowed down 10 times. The attack trajectory was seen through at a glance. And Wong Tang did not spend any effort, and calmly dodged Hun Zan's true dragon claw. More than a dozen times in a row. All escaped unscathed. Hun Zan, how come your attack is slower than a turtle? Don't even mention hitting me, you can't even touch a hair. Wong Tang grinned. Ancient dual pupils is one of the heavenly physiques. It is a being with full control. It is the nemesis of all flesh monks, an inferior divine ability. With desolate ancient saint body. That is, it is both fleshy and controlled. Perfectly restrains Hun Zan's heavenly hegemony physique's 9 divine forms. What, can you play like this? Hun Zan opened his eyes wide, obviously shocked. His actions were all in Wong Tang's eyes, and no matter how he attacked, it was a waste of effort. If there was a referee who could shout a word, he would definitely say, "This kid has no martial ethics." Cheating. Chapter 51. There are still many things you don't know. The hand of God. Wong Tang responded simply without saying much nonsense. Then, 108 supreme bones flashed all over his body, and gathered into a golden treasure bone on his chest. Endless chaotic energy gushed out, like the passing of time. Crack. The next moment, a divine light suddenly descended from the sky. Like thunder, like lightning, like a divine punishment from heaven. Not good. Black tortoise back, open. Hun Zan thought it was not good, and immediately curled up his body. The green turtle and snake pattern filled with water mist gradually condensed on his back. Formed a black tortoise shell. Boom. The hand of God fell. It directly chopped on the shell on Hun Zan's back. Despite the protection of the black tortoise back, his skin was still burned to the point of being unbearable to look at. If his body was not strong enough, this blow, I'm afraid it would directly chopped a big hole in his back. However, a lot of heavenly tribulation light penetrated into his body, damaging his internal organs like a dark force. Fortunately, there was heavenly hegemony physique. The purple blood's extraordinary recovery ability made the originally serious injuries better by a large margin. This ancient dual pupils is really annoying. When I defeat you, I will definitely dig out your eyes first. Hun Zan took off the black tortoise and said viciously. Those vicious eyes stared at Wong Tang's dual pupils with yin and yang. Even worse than wrong mama. If it weren't for the ancient dual pupils. Just now, his series of close attacks would have seriously injured Wong Tang and knocked him away. But now he was suppressed in the opposite direction. It made people angry. Then it depends on whether you have the ability. Your 9 divine attacks are all invisible to my ancient dual pupils. You have no chance of winning. Wong Tang's eyes were as sharp as fairy swords, and he said domineeringly. All the opponent's actions, they were carried out under the watchful eyes of his ancient dual pupils. They could be easily dodged. It's not that he didn't use the desolate ancient saint body to attack, but the current situation between the two sides was not optimistic. He couldn't entangle. He had to find an opportunity to defeat Hun Zan in one blow. Moreover, Hun Zan's realm was at the venerable realm 3rd layer. The pure power of heavenly hegemony physique was naturally stronger than his desolate ancient saint body at the 4 extremities. No chance of winning. Don't be arrogant. Even if you have ancient dual pupils, you can't definitely beat me. I don't believe you can dodge the next move with the help of dual pupils. Hun Zan spit out a mouthful of purple blood and snorted coldly. The next moment, there was a loud bang. The 9 beast god forms merged together to form a terrifying phantom of the tyrant body ancestor. Dragon head, snake tail, white tiger claws, phoenix wings, Kirin armor, black tortoise back. It looked like a strange beast with 6 different faces. As the phantom appeared, the 9 god forms turned into a stream of light. They gathered on Hun Zan's fist. This is the inherited skills of heavenly hegemony physique. In the void, the knowledgeable old ancestor recognized the moves that Hun Zan had not yet performed. That kind of pure blood and chi power. Enough to break all laws. Even Wong Tang's ancient dual pupils could hardly glimpse 1 or 2. Tyrant fist. Hun Zan roared to the sky and blasted out this attack with all his strength. Tyrant fist. The tyrant fist, unstoppable. This is the most masculine and powerful attack. Under superposition, it burst out with the shocking combat power of killing saints and immortals. See the punch thrown by Hun Zan. Wong Tang knew the opportunity had come. His golden blood, like a precious medicine, was boiling, and his fighting power instantly increased tenfold. It's just a little turtle punch. Open your eyes and see what a punch is. Wong Tang looked down on him. While the multiple visions of desolate ancient saint body were unfolding, he also used the 6 paths of reincarnation fist. Different visions. Under the swallowing of the 6 black holes, the surrounding laws Daorime were squeezed to merge. Then they gathered on his fist. Bang! The 2 strongest moves collided instantly. The terrifying air wave. The eyes of the people watching the battle flashed. It was like eating a flash bomb. Wong Tang, go to hell. Hun Zan roared wildly, and the strength of his fist increased a little more. But Wong Tang smiled evilly. It seemed that this scene had been in his calculations for a long time. Just waiting for you to use your full strength. Saozi sword Ju, cut. In an instant, an ordinary little grass was held in Wong Tang's other free palm. Take a closer look. This grass turned out to be the condensation of countless sword intents. Then, Wong Tang slashed horizontally, and the raging sword intent was enough to cut off the sun, moon and stars. Boom! A violent explosion resounded through the sky. The void where the two fought instantly produced thick smoke from the collision. The next moment, a figure covered in blood was ejected from the explosion and smashed into the middle of a mountain. The winner is decided. Who won? Everyone was shocked and opened their eyes to try to check the situation of the two. Suddenly, an old ancestor of a major sect trembled, pointed to the middle of the mountain and said, "Look, it's the Hun family's son Hun Zan. He lost to desolate ancient saint body Wong Tang." Hun Zan was bathed in purple blood. The groom's clothes were torn into pieces, and he fainted and fell into the rubble. Only the bloody head was exposed. This allowed the spectators to recognize it at the first time. And turned around. The smoke dissipated where the two collided. Wong Tang stood in the void unscathed, and the fighting spirit of the golden holy blood in his body reached its peak. He looked down upon the heaven and the earth. The domineering aura of being the only one in the world was even more invisible. It's really terrifying. In this generation of the fateful battle between the two major physiques, sacred body is better after all. And the East God defeated the North Emperor, and the younger generation of Beiyuan will be suppressed and unable to raise their heads. Everyone was full of emotion, and the rise of sacred body was unstoppable. At the same time, Wong Tang narrowed his eyes. He looked at the dazed Yao Kai Saint Lord in the center of sacred land. The latter swallowed his saliva and took out 2 golden papers from his arms. It was the marriage contract of the 2 marriages. After all, except Wong Tang. Not far away, Wang Chendong and a group of saint-level monks were also staring at him. Far away, you can still see a few strands of red hair growing on Wang Chendong's body. If she doesn't hand it over, I'm afraid she will have to experience the forbidden power of the red-haired old monster. Swoosh. Wong Tang sucked his palm slightly, took the 2 marriage certificates in his hand, and announced loudly, "Today, I destroy this marriage certificate of moral kidnapping, and the marriage contract between my husband and Yaoqi sacred land no longer exists." Sizzle. The ancient holy blood roared. The extreme power broke out at this moment, instantly tearing up the marriage certificate made of solid material. And Hun Zan in the rubble. Under the amazing recovery power of purple blood, he also woke up. Just saw the scene of Wong Tang tearing up the marriage certificate. He was unwilling. Holding a glimmer of hope, he retorted with rapid breathing. Wong Tang, even if you tear up the marriage certificate and defeat me, Saintess Yao Kai may not go with you. Don't be so self-indulgent here. You are the one who is so sentimental." At this time, a pleasant and moving voice came out slowly from sacred land. The beautiful Yan Ruyu appeared in front of everyone in a wedding dress with a phoenix crown and a bridal robe. He stared at Wong Tang and walked towards him step by step. You, the Holy Lord of Yaoqi wanted to stop him, but still closed his mouth. "Wong Tang, you are here. You know, after the trip to Secret Realm, I have never forgotten you. I really like you." Yan Ruyu's eyes were red, and she spoke her heart out. This time, Wong Tang no longer had any concerns. He stepped forward and hugged Yan Ruyu. "I can't forget you either, so I came. Even if you reject me in public, I will take a gamble." Wong Tang stroked her hair and whispered softly. The loving scene. It made everyone watching the game cry. It was so touching. After all, lovers finally get married. No regrets. But Hun Zan, who was seriously injured in the rubble, was dumbfounded. Did you know each other before? And had love?" Hun Zan covered his chest and asked with a cough. He is not a fool. From the conversation between the two, it is known that something unspeakable has happened. Hearing this, Yan Ruyu loosened her hand holding Wong Tang. Turned her head to look at Hun Zan. "You were right. We met in Supreme Secret Realm, and I am pregnant with his child. I agreed to marry you because I was forced to do so. In fact, I don't like you at all. The person I like is Wong Tang." Boom. These few words. Like a bolt from the blue, they hit Hun Zan's chest heavily. He became the scapegoat, but he didn't even know it. And it was Wong Tang, the mortal enemy. Not only him. All the forces watching the battle couldn't help but take a breath of cold air. This news is too explosive. The great Northern Emperor. Not only was he cheated on by Wong Tang, but he almost took over Wong Tang's child. This is unheard of. The old Wong next door is indeed worthy of his reputation. So powerful. Hiss. After all this time, it turns out that Han Zan is the complainer, and he is still playing the role of a licker here. I didn't expect that they like each other and even have a child. A certain saint child was excited and kept talking to himself. Ha 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 ha, if it weren't for the saintess of Yao Kai saying it himself. I'm afraid that the saint master of Yao Kai would have kept it a secret. At that time, Han Zan might really think that the child is his. A great divine child gloated and raised his voice. Everyone said something. It was like a sharp sword piercing the heart. One after another, constantly stimulating Han Zan's injured heart. In addition, he was seriously injured. The next moment, puff, Han Zan's blood gushed up, he spat out a large mouthful of purple blood, and fainted again. Seeing this, Wong Tang ignored Han Zan, but asked Yan Ruyu if she was really pregnant. What if it was because of Han Zan? However, after getting her nod, Wong Tang felt relieved. 8 years old, becoming a father. If this were in modern times, it would be quite explosive. But in another world, now the 8-year-old Wong Tang is no worse than any 20-year-old boy, and his appearance is also exceptionally handsome. At the same time, the battle between the quasi-emperor strongmen was still in full swing. Under the obstruction of the fighting ape emperor, the first ancestor of the Han family was defeated step by step. But there was enough gap. Let the other ancestors of the Han family cross the void channel and land outside the Yaoqi sacred land. Wong Tang, you hurt my clan's son, go to hell. When an ancestor of the Han family saw the fainted Han Zan, he was immediately angry and raised his hand to attack. Bullying the weak with the strong. You Beiyuan Han family, you are nothing more than this. An old and leisurely voice came, shaking the hearts of countless people. The next second, the void was torn apart, and the sky shook. The tall figures of the 15 ancestors stepped out steadily from the gap. And behind them, the first ancestor of the Zhang family also followed behind. Stinky boy, I didn't expect you to be such a playboy, but you have to remember that you must marry my great-granddaughter. Otherwise, I will never let you go. The first ancestor of the Zhang family had a serious face, holding the emperor weapon in his hand, pointing at Wong Tang and teaching him. This made Wong Tang feel guilty. Why did he force himself to marry more wives? Originally, after the first ancestor of the Zhang family learned the news, he rushed to the Wong family to seek an explanation. He was so sincere. In the end, not only did the great-grandson-in-law fly away, but Zhang Ziyu was also deceived. That's too much. But then he thought about it. It's normal for a man to have 3 wives and 4 concubines, so what's wrong with having more confidants? It doesn't matter if they are legitimate or eccentric. As long as he can marry this great emperor seedling, it's fine. Good guy. It turns out that he came to help because he figured it out. Otherwise, he would have returned to the clan long ago. And saw the reinforcements from the 2 clans coming. The 6 quasi-emperors stopped instantly. Among them, the fighting ape emperor and the 3 Wong family ancestors immediately joined the 15 ancestors. Fellow Taoist, do you still want to fight? If you don't retreat, the emperor weapon in my hand will be blind. The first ancestor threatened with words. In front of him, the bright emperor killing spear made a clanging sound. He wanted to fight strongly. The Zhang family ancestor on the side was also unambiguous. He showed the weapon in his hand. Extreme Dao Emperor Weapon, Hengyu Baking Furnace. In addition to the golden hoop in the hands of the fighting ape emperor, they have 3 emperor weapons. On the other hand, the Han family. But there is only one. Old monster Han. Let's go, the battle situation is not favorable to us. The leader of the Zhui Great Sect persuaded. When necessary. We still have to know the situation. The old man with a fairy-like appearance on the side also nodded in agreement. Live to their level. Without an extreme feud, there is no need to fight hard, otherwise there will be a risk of falling. Humph. You are so cruel. Let's wait and see. There is a long way to go. Our Beiyuan Han family will remember this matter. The first ancestor of the Han family said unwillingly. With a big wave of his hand. With the seriously injured and fainted Hun Zan, he and the rest of the Hun family entered the void channel. There is no way. 3-1. It is obvious that the advantage is not in his hands. He can only return to Baiyuan. If their Hun family is not the dominant force in Baiyuan and has many great emperor trump cards, I am afraid that the Wong family would have taken action directly just now. Then use the connected void channel to kill their Hun family. After the Hun family escaped, the battle ended. Although it was only a battle between several quasi-emperor level warriors, the Wong family won a great victory overall. And Wong Tang also pulled Yan Ruyu, landed on the ground. As soon as she stepped on the ground of Yaoqi Sacred Land, Yaoqi Sacred Lord was a little at a loss. As for hiding the fact that Yan Ruyu was pregnant, she was afraid that Wong Tang would blame her. However, unexpectedly, Wong Tang walked up to her without any hesitation and said very sincerely, "Yaoqi Sacred Lord, now that the engagement is invalid and my Hun family has failed, I should also formally propose marriage." Formal proposal. Upon hearing this, Yaoqi Sacred Lord breathed a sigh of relief. Just when he was happy. But he saw Wong Tang standing there awkwardly, constantly rummaging through the storage bag in his hand. It's over. It seems a bit embarrassing. Came in a hurry. No betrothal gifts were carefully prepared. But Wong Tang suddenly thought of something important. He still has the system. And the new sign in location is exactly this Yaoqi Sacred Land. So, no matter what the reward given by the system is next, he will use it as a betrothal gift. System, sign me in. Wong Tang silently said in his heart, and kept praying, "System, give me some money. Give me the most high-end and coolest treasure, so that I can use it to propose marriage." The system said it received it. Ding, congratulations to the host, the sign-in is successful. Get the sign-in reward. Extreme Dao Emperor Weapon, 9 Curve Harp. Ding, congratulations to the host, trigger the sign-in 1 get 1 free. Get an additional sign-in reward. Extreme Dao Emperor Weapon, Tie-in Sword. Hiss. System, you are really my second parent. You even gave me the Extreme Dao Emperor Weapon as a reward. And you gave me 2 at once. Wong Tang was so happy that he almost cried out. Boom. A golden light shone across the entire Yaoqi Sacred Land. When everyone couldn't open their eyes, a terrifying imperial power rushed straight into the sky. The next second, in Wong Tang's hand, a blue zither suddenly appeared, with 9 dark golden strings hanging on it. It was shocking to see it from afar. This is Extreme Dao Emperor Weapon. This kind of aura, is it the kind that has just been refined? How is it possible? In the void, the fighting ape king opened his eyes and muttered to himself. Even for a strong man like him. After seeing the emperor weapon in Wong Tang's hand, he was caught by the mama. The great emperor of all generations. There is only one Extreme Dao Emperor Weapon in a lifetime. And it will basically be passed down, but the one in Wong Tang's hand is obviously brand new. At this moment when the destiny has not yet been carried. Where did Wong Tang get it from? Could it be? Is this the emperor weapon refined by the great emperor of Beibao? My great-grandson-in-law is really lucky. Even such a great opportunity as the emperor weapon can be obtained. It should be obtained in the supreme secret realm. The first ancestor of the Zhang family stroked his long beard and nodded. The great emperor of Beibao. He is the most legendary person among all the great emperors. His talent is mediocre, but he is very obsessed with casting. In the competition for the Emperor Road, he relied on luck to get to the end, and then relied on the forged weapon to win. Finally, he became the great emperor. During his lifetime, he had forged several Extreme Dao Emperor weapons of good quality. All of them disappeared in the myriad worlds with his death. No one has ever found them again. Now that Wong Tang has taken out a brand new emperor weapon, this is the only explanation. At this moment, the various forces watching the battle from afar almost had their eyes embedded in the emperor weapon. Who can get such an emperor weapon that has not yet recognized its master? They can fight against the quasi-emperor. They can even be placed in the clan to deter the surrounding powerful enemy forces. At the same time, in the center of Yaoqi Sacred Land, seeing the emperor weapon in Wong Tang's hand, Yaoqi Sacred Lord was stunned for a moment and reached out to take it. But in a moment, she immediately woke up. Since this is the betrothal gift from the son of Emperor Wong Tang, it should be yours. You should take it. After all, it is a bit precious. It is not safe to leave it with Master. The Holy Lord of Yao Kai took a step back and waved. Put it with me. What if I can't help it? Recognize the Master. Or lose the Extreme Tao Emperor weapon. Then she can't afford to pay for it even if she sells it to entertain customers. And the betrothal gift was originally given to Yan Ruyu. How can I keep it? Yes, Master. Yan Ruyu nodded and took the Emperor weapon. Buzz. The strings of the zither vibrated and resounded through the air. At the same time that Yan Ruyu took the 9-curve zither with both hands. This Extreme Tao Emperor weapon, with the help of the system of Wong Tang, automatically recognized Yan Ruyu as the Master. In an instant, a huge mental force hit her mind. Feeling the terrifying power of the Emperor weapon, Yan Ruyu felt as if she was standing on the top of a mountain. Enough to compete with the strongest of the time. Then, Wong Tang planned to take Yan Ruyu to the Wong family to take care of the baby, but the latter did not want to leave Yaoqi sacred land. He had no choice but to compromise. Anyway, the two had already formally proposed marriage, and there was no obstacle, it was the same everywhere. This Yaoqi sacred land is really lucky. Before, the Baiyuan Han family got married with a marriage certificate, and then the Wong family's prince came to rob the bride and gave the Extreme Tao Emperor weapon as a betrothal gift. Why doesn't my divine maiden have a face like Yaoqi saintess? A strong man of the ancient race sighed. He wanted to use the disguise technique to copy the face of Yaoqi saintess. And when he sighed, beside him, a leader-level strong man seemed to have seen something extraordinary. Pointing to the place where the ancestors of the Wong family were, he said in horror, Extreme Tao Emperor weapon. Then Wong Tang has another Emperor weapon in his hand that has not yet recognized its master. Wong Tang stepped into the void. After walking in front of the first ancestor of the Zhang family, he took out a brand new Extreme Tao Emperor weapon from his arms. It was the Taiyan sword. This time, even the first ancestor of the Zhang family was not calm. Great-grandson-in-law. Are you giving this to me? I am not dreaming, am I? Don't scare me, an old man. He swallowed his saliva and pinched his face subconsciously. I found that he was not dreaming. It was real. How could I scare you? This Emperor weapon is my betrothal gift to Sister Zhang. Please pass it on. I know she is angry with me, but this is also an emergency. I will explain it to her when I have time. Besides, there is no distinction between the main and the deputy here. As long as you marry me, Wong Tang, I will treat you equally. Wong Tang scratched his head and said a little embarrassedly. Although he was a big shot in the community before the migration, he felt inexplicably shy when he said this in front of so many people with an 8-year-old body. Good boy, I was right about you. You are worthy of being my great-grandson-in-law. Don't worry, I will teach you a lesson. It's normal for a man to have 3 wives and 4 concubines. The first ancestor of the Zhang family patted his shoulder. While praising and assuring him, he skillfully stretched out his other hand and put the Extreme Tao Emperor weapon in the storage bag. His mouth was almost grinning to his back teeth. This is Emperor weapon. It is not a cabbage on the street. Even the great emperor does not have too much treasure. How can he not take it? The ancestors on the side and the fighting ape king were even more incredible. When the second ancestor wanted to step forward to persuade him, the first ancestor stopped him and said in a voice transmission, although Emperor weapon is precious, I still follow Tanger's opinion. Besides, these 2 Emperor weapons are not given to outsiders, so there is no need to stop them. Hearing this, the second ancestor stopped honestly. After all, the weight of the 2 Emperor weapons is not low. Not far away. After seeing this scene, the crowd was excited again. Another Emperor weapon. Did Wong Tang dig up the grave of the great Emperor of Beibao? Brand new Emperor weapons are given out one after another, as if they are free. An old ancestor of the Immortal sect said to himself in confusion. Obviously, he concluded that Wong Tang had obtained the inheritance of the great Emperor of Beibao, otherwise it would be impossible to take out 2 Emperor weapons. In this case, this Wong Tang may still have some in stock, otherwise why would he be so generous? At this time, a doubtful voice sounded in the crowd. Like thunder in the sky. In an instant, many people, like divine insight, thought of a good idea at the same time. Ancestor of the Wong family. My divine maiden is pretty and has learned a good waist technique. Can she meet the emperor's son? A patriarch of a noble family took the lead, trying to seize the initiative first. And me. The saintess I teach is also a beauty, with curvaceous figure, very suitable for the son of Emperor Wong Tang. Another elder of the sect followed closely and kept boasting. It's a pity that she is not a woman. Otherwise, she would definitely work hard to promote herself. After all, Wong Tang's betrothal gift to his fiancée is the emperor weapon, and he is suspected of having inherited the great emperor of Beibao. There must be extra extreme Dao emperor weapons. As a group of people suddenly came forward, Wong Tang immediately summoned the Suani to escape from here first. He planned to leave the problem to the ancestors. Suddenly, dong, a strange bell sounded from the south, throbbing everyone's beating heart. Looking for the sound, the end of the sky. A hole was torn in the void. An old man of the great saint level walked out of it, exuding a strong monster race aura. Especially in many parts of his body. There are also some obvious characteristics of monster race. People from Nanling monster race. This aura is definitely correct. The skills they practice are easy to identify. A powerful person reminded. The next moment, this monster race great saint, in full view of everyone, instantly came to a place not far from Wong Tang. He didn't dare to get too close, because the spiritual sense of the ancestors of the Wong family and the first ancestor of the Zhang family firmly locked him. If there is any abnormality, he will be killed instantly by a group of quasi-emperors. Wong Tang, please stay. I came here on the orders of my clan's princess to invite you to participate in my Nanling monster race event. The monster race great saint said respectfully. Then, he took out an invitation letter made of simple cloth from his bosom and handed it to Wong Tang with both hands. Monster race event. Wong Tang took the invitation letter and took a quick look. Although the material looked like that used by primitive people, the handwriting on it was very beautiful. It was obviously written by a beautiful beauty. Brother, this monster race event. It is a big gathering of the monster races in Nanling, which is held every 100 years. Even the other 4 areas outside Nanling have monster races, and they will rush over to participate. And there is a chance to see the South Monster. She is the most beautiful woman in the monster race in Nanling. Saint Emperor came close and told in detail. Ha 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 ha. He is right, Wong Tang. To be honest, the one who is called the South Monster is the daughter of my clan. The monster race great saint said bluntly. He even revealed a unique green lotus totem on his arm. Azure Lotus Totem. Are you from the Azure Emperor clan? The first ancestor of the Zhang family was somewhat shocked. This Azure Emperor is a great emperor of the Nanling monster race. Full of legends. The body is an azure lotus, which became an emperor after spending endless years and ruled all monster races. A single lotus amongst the eternal azure heavens. This sentence describes him exactly. If that's the case, your clan's imperial daughter, could it be that? You want to get a spot in the Monster Emperor Tower? The first ancestor asked directly. He still has a lot of knowledge about the monster race event in Nanling. All the young generation will team up with each other through passing levels, duels, and competitions for understanding. Get the qualification to enter the 9-layer monster tower. And this 9-layer monster tower is the supreme opportunity left by the legendary great emperor of Nanling, Azure Emperor. Rumor has it, the heart of the Azure Emperor is hidden on the 9th floor. But no one has ever successfully persisted to the 9th floor. But it still attracts countless monster race prodigy to compete. That's right, the monster race great saint nodded and affirmed. Their great emperor lineage has the privilege to invite a prodigy outside the monster race to join the team. So they set their sights on the powerful Wong Tang. With 2 supreme prodigy joining forces, isn't it easy to get a place in the tower? Emperor Wong Tang, don't worry. If you agree, my clan will definitely reward you after the matter is completed. The monster race great saint continued, promising a huge reward. A huge reward. Could it be that the princess of your clan wants to pledge herself to you? After thinking for a moment, Wong Tang, who was struggling with his thoughts, suddenly, a voice came from his mind. Emperor Wong Tang, quickly agreed to him. Perhaps you can take this opportunity to get a great opportunity related to the desolate ancient saint body. A great opportunity, or about the desolate ancient saint body. Upon hearing these words, Wong Tang's heart suddenly became excited. And Wong Tang was very familiar with this voice. It was the Pavilion Master of Heavenly Secrets Pavilion. Naturally, he would not lie to him. Immediately, Wong Tang put away the invitation letter and agreed. Since it is the invitation of the Southern Demon, then I, the Eastern God, must give face. You go back and tell your daughter that I helped her. When the time comes, I will go to Nanling in advance to meet her. Wong Tang replied. The monster race great saint returned with a salute, and then returned happily along the same route. And Wong Tang, under the guidance of the Pavilion Master of Heavenly Secrets Pavilion, with the ancestors, came to an independent void. The void here was blocked by the law treasure, and no sound could be transmitted. The sound insulation effect was good. Senior, Junior is here. I wonder what the great opportunity of desolate ancient saint body you just mentioned is all about. As soon as he saw him, Wong Tang asked straight to the point. Not the 2 sentences just now. Perhaps Wong Tang would not agree so quickly. After all, he did not lack any treasures, so there was no need to go to help this southern monster in vain. Wong Tang, the Emperor's son. Do you know what is on the 9th floor of the Monster Emperor Tower? The Pavilion Master of Heavenly Secrets Pavilion asked confidently. Isn't it the Monster Emperor's heart? The first ancestor of the Zhang family answered first. This is basically known to everyone, but no one has ever gotten it. Because every time someone breaks into the tower, they can only get to the 8th floor at most and are blocked by the golden stone door on the 9th floor. No matter what divine ability they use, even brute force cannot break it. That's right, there is indeed a monster emperor heart inside, and there is also the remains of a great accomplishment desolate ancient saint body. The head of the Heavenly Secrets Pavilion said solemnly. While speaking, he did not forget to look at Wong Tang. Obviously, this is why he asked Wong Tang to agree. Great accomplishment desolate ancient saint body. The development of the physique has reached the extreme, and all the bones in the body have become gilded and hard. Can fight against emperor weapon with bare hands. After death, the body will not decay for thousands of years, and contains supreme charm. If it is fused with his desolate ancient saint body, opening the divine treasure is child's play, and there may be even greater surprises. So that's the case. I should go, but no one has ever entered the 9th floor of the Demon Tower. Will this trip not be in vain? Wong Tang narrowed his eyes and turned his head to ask. Even with the remains of the great accomplishment desolate ancient saint body, he still couldn't enter without the corresponding confidence. And the Pavilion Master of Heavenly Secrets Pavilion firmly asked him to agree. Obviously he knew something else. Sure enough, the Pavilion Master of Heavenly Secrets Pavilion grinned after seeing Wong Tang's eyes. No longer concealed, he told everything he knew. Emperor Wong Tang, I won't beat around the bush. The golden stone door on the 9th floor of the Demon Tower is the bone marrow condensation of the great accomplishment desolate ancient saint body. That's why it blocked everyone who broke into the tower, but you can go in. Great accomplishment desolate ancient saint body. The flesh is invincible and ignores the laws of all ways. It is also the nemesis of all divine ability anomalies. The golden stone gate condensed by his bone marrow also has the effect of ignoring divine ability. And those who break into the tower, those above the Emperor Dao realm are not allowed to enter, so the stone gate condensed by the great accomplishment desolate ancient saint body. It is even more impossible to break it. Only Wong Tang, who is also a desolate ancient saint body, can enter it safely. Once explained, Wong Tang was like breaking through the clouds and seeing the sun, and his mind was suddenly enlightened. Although he didn't know why the remains of the great accomplishment desolate ancient saint body were inside with the heart of the Azure Emperor. But this is an opportunity to open the divine treasure. It must not be missed. Suddenly, he also thought of a problem. This southern monster didn't look for anyone else, but came to me instead. Could it be that he also knew the news that only the desolate ancient saint body could enter the golden stone gate? Otherwise, how could it be such a coincidence? While thinking, the Pavilion Master of Heavenly Secrets Pavilion smiled and continued, Emperor Wong Tang, if you get a great opportunity at that time, don't forget my contribution to this news. As an angel investor, naturally, he would not do a losing business. And from this, Wong Tang also heard that the Pavilion Master of Heavenly Secrets Pavilion took the initiative to show goodwill. Want to make friends with him? Immediately, Wong Tang clasped his fists and said, Senior, don't worry, no matter whether you can get the opportunity or not. Senior's kindness in providing information today, I will always remember it in my heart. Hearing this, the pavilion master of Heavenly Secrets Pavilion was satisfied. What he wanted was Wong Tang's promise. At the same time, Nanling, Celestial Beast Palace. Emperor's daughter, Wong Tang has agreed. He asked me to reply to you that he will come to help in advance when the event is about to start. The great saint who delivered the message replied respectfully. And above him, there sat a charming woman. She wore a green long skirt, with a beautiful figure and a pair of slender jade feet. She looked like Su Daji. And at the root of her thigh, you can see an azure lotus totem. It makes people bleed from the nose at first sight. If you lift your legs to your shoulders and see this tempting azure lotus, step on the accelerator. It will definitely accelerate. And she is a direct descendant of the Azure Emperor, a beautiful woman named Prodigy, known as the Southern Demon. Yan Ruyu. I really didn't expect it. In the battle between the two, Wong Tang would win. This is beyond my expectation. Yan Ruyu sat on the throne above, tapped her lips with her finger, and laughed to herself. Originally, he sent this great saint to invite Hun Zan to participate. But he happened to see the two fighting. Yan Ruyu, who knew the news through voice transmission, rationally asked this great saint to hide his body. After the winner was decided, invite the winning party to participate. However, in the battles between desolate ancient saint body and heavenly hegemony physique from ancient times to the present, the latter has basically won more. So she didn't have much hope for Wong Tang. Never thought Wong Tang would win. Fortunately, she made two preparations temporarily, so she successfully won over Wong Tang to help. Emperor's daughter, there is a mistake. If you invite Wong Tang to help, will the opening of the 9th level Golden Stone Gate be affected? At this time, an old ancestor next to him was full of worry and couldn't help but step forward to ask. They had worked hard before. They got a secret about the 9th level Demon Tower. They said they wanted to open the Golden Stone Gate. Only the fighting lineage with special physique can open it. This is also the reason why they originally planned to invite Hun Zan. His heavenly hegemony physique is a fighting physique. Ancestor, it's okay. Then Wong Tang's desolate ancient saint body is also a fighting physique, it will definitely succeed. Yan Ruyu waved her hand and said affirmatively. Little did they know, the secret they obtained was just a semi-finished product. It was not as accurate as the Heavenly Secrets Pavilion. Fortunately, Wong Tang was invited. Otherwise, if Hun Zan went there at that time, as the mortal enemy of desolate ancient saint body, after the Golden Stone Gate sensed his breath, maybe it would rebound and attack. The scene changed. Eastern Wilderness, Wong family. After returning from Yaoqi Sacred Land, Wong Tang stayed in the Imperial Palace, comprehending the previous battle with Hun Zan. Desolate ancient saint body and heavenly hegemony physique. The top confrontation between the two physiques will have unexpected gains. Almost. It's time to break through to the venerable realm. Wong Tang opened his eyes and said calmly. At this moment, the great Tao in his body, which was the seed of his body, had been portrayed to perfection in the four extremities realm. The next second, he skillfully took out the 9-colored treasure cauldron that had been used to stew soup at the Myriad Races conference from his storage bag. Clang! The moment the treasure cauldron fell to the ground, several dragon corpses exuding imperial power were placed in front of him in a reduced posture. These dragon corpses, they were the ancestors who died in the ancestral dragon nest before. Real dragon flesh, every part is a treasure. For those who have heaven-swallowing demon technique and can use it to increase their cultivation, it is a great tonic. Old ancestor, come and help. The quasi-emperor Tao of these dragon corpses is still there, I can't compress it by myself. Wong Tang shouted to the outside of the hall. Because the size of these dragon corpses is too large, if you want to put them into the treasure tripod, you must have a strong cultivation. Tanger, don't worry, old ancestor, I'm coming. After a doting word fell, the first ancestor put his hands behind his back and flew in. That smile on his face. He did not hide his love for Wong Tang. Buzz. The first ancestor stretched out his left palm, and the terrifying quasi-emperor cultivation burst out and hit the bodies of these dragon corpses. The next moment, The fingertips lightly lifted. The dragon corpse slowly rose and suddenly shrank in the air. Like a loach, it became a miniature real dragon less than 20 centimeters. Then, the first ancestor waved his hand. He put several compressed dragon corpses one by one into the 9-color cauldron prepared by Wong Tang. Thank you, ancestor. Now I can prepare the 5-dragon soup. Wong Tang grinned and began to place the treasures of heaven and earth. 5-dragon soup. As the name suggests, soup made from the flesh of 5 real dragons. For someone like Wong Tang who has 3 major physiques and huge resources required to improve his cultivation, it is undoubtedly the most suitable. Suanny, light the fire. It takes a long time to make the soup this time, you can't be lazy. Wong Tang looked aside and shouted to the lying Suanny. When he heard the word, making soup, Suanny was as excited as if he had been injected with chicken blood. Because it meant that he could eat meat. After eating the dragon claw and phoenix leg soup last time, his blood of the ancient beast changed. The dragon and phoenix blood was integrated. The strength far exceeds that of ordinary pure-blooded descendants. Don't worry, master, I will never be lazy while you cook. Suanny promised, and spit out dragon flames. The power of the flames was so great that it was no exaggeration to say that he was using all his strength. Wong Tang stood in front of the 9-colored treasure cauldron, constantly throwing various natural treasures into it. One after another. No repetition. The emphasis was on a hodgepodge. At this time, the Saint Emperor, who heard that Wong Tang was making soup, rushed to the Emperor's palace without stopping. As soon as he saw the 5 dragon corpses in the cauldron, he was shocked. Wow, if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I really wouldn't believe it. These 5 old men really died in your hands, and now they are boiled in the cauldron. You know, as one of the 7 forbidden areas for life, his Saint Ape Valley has some dealings with the dragon nest, and he had seen these 5 quasi-emperor true dragon ancestors before. Now they meet again, but they have become ingredients in the cauldron. After a moment of contemplation, he made up his mind. He must make these 5 quasi-emperor old men leave with value. The next moment, Saint Emperor opened the storage bag without hesitation and took out a thumb-sized peach core from it. And the moment he took it out, a burst of vitality instantly spread in the Emperor's palace. It shocked all the ancestors. What a strong breath of life. This is Immortal divine medicine. In the ancestral land, the 3rd ancestor was shocked and excited. Almost instantly, he used the divine ability of shrink the earth to an inch and came to the door of the Emperor's palace. Immortal divine medicine. Each one is unique. It has the magical effect of healing, assisting cultivation, improving aptitude, and even allowing people to be reborn and live another life. It is a treasure that all cultivators dream of. The rest of the ancestors were startled and came to the outside of the Emperor's palace. Don't get excited, 3rd brother. It's just a peach pit. And it has been stored for too long, and the vitality inside is almost lost. The 1st ancestor calmly stretched out his hand and stopped the 3rd ancestor who wanted to spy. That's right, any immortal divine medicine is a top treasure. No one will expose it to others. Hearing this, the 3rd ancestor patted his head and reacted immediately. I'm confused. I almost forgot about this. It's not his fault. For them who have lost a lot of vitality, the value of immortal divine medicine is equivalent to emperor weapon. Even if the great emperor comes, he will not be calm. At the same time, in the emperor's palace, after taking out the peach pit, the Saint Emperor threw it into the 9-colored tripod. As soon as the peach pit entered the tripod, a huge peach tree phantom instantly appeared above the tripod. The 5 dragon corpses that had shrunk were moved by a wisp of vitality and transformed into 5 real dragons that were looming, dancing around the peach tree. And this peach pit is not an ordinary thing. It is the only immortal divine medicine in their Saint Ape Valley. The peach pit of the divine medicine. Monkey, not bad. You don't hide good things. I'll let you taste it first. Wong Tang gave a thumbs up and smiled. He naturally saw the value of the peach pit and immediately said that he would let the Saint Emperor drink the first mouthful of soup. Time passed quickly. After 2.5 days of boiling, the 9-colored tripod burst out with brilliant golden light and exuded the fragrant aroma of dragon meat. Master, the 5-dragon soup is ready. Suanny extinguished the dragon flame and shouted to Wong Tang, who was closing his eyes and nurturing spirit. It's cooked. It's cooked. You can eat it. Immediately, Wong Tang opened his eyes and flashed to the front of the 9-colored treasure cauldron. At this moment, the 5 dragon corpses in the cauldron turned into pieces of minced meat after boiling. This also means that the 5 dragon soup is successful. Come, monkey. This bowl, you eat first. He filled a large bowl of dragon meat and handed it to the Saint Emperor. Then he divided a lot of it equally among Suani. After all, the dragon flames in the past 2.5 days consumed a lot of Suani's physical strength. It's time to reward him. Then, Wong Tang looked at the dragon meat in the cauldron, activated the heaven-swallowing demon technique in his body, and began to feast on it. The heaven-defying nature of the heaven-swallowing demon technique was perfectly displayed at this moment. Moreover, he had the strong body of the desolate ancient saint body. As soon as the hot dragon meat entered his mouth, he swallowed it into his stomach. If it were put in approaching science, this could be filmed for 10 episodes. The next moment, the heaven-swallowing demon technique was activated, and wisps of demonic energy drifted out from his skin. Containing many impurities, it was expelled from the body. This meant that the dragon meat and soup swallowed into the stomach were instantly transformed into pure energy. Burp. I'm so full, it seems to have reached the critical point. Wong Tang burped and sat cross-legged on the ground. He could clearly feel that his realm had reached the peak of the 4 extremities realm. It was only 1 step away from the venerable realm. As long as he digested the remaining dragon meat in his stomach, he would be able to break through to the venerable realm. After a while, boom, along with a golden glow on Wong Tang's body, a huge beam of light burst out from the emperor's palace, straight into the sky, and Wong Tang's realm. At this moment, he perfectly stepped into the venerable realm. Although it was only the initial stage, his strength was far different from that of the 4 extremities realm. What a strong force! With this punch, anyone below the 5th layer of the venerable realm will definitely die. Wong Tang clenched his fist and smacked his lips. With the invincible desolate ancient saint body of the same level, plus the great Tao that walked out of his body as a seed. This punch, 8 years of skill, ordinary prodigy below the 5th layer of the venerable realm. Definitely can't stop it. Just wanted to try the power of his fist. Buzz. His eyes were dizzy. Suddenly, ancient dual pupils yin and yang qis spun, and countless chaotic qis gushed back. From a distance, it looked like the eyes of a zombie. It was obvious. Ancient dual pupils opened the 2nd layer divine treasure. Chaotic world. Once it was used, the enemy locked by the eyes would be 10 times slower. There was control. It was equivalent to a deceleration effect. If it was combined with the extremely fast attack of the destructive blacklight, it was simply a great weapon for killing. And the moment it was used, it could create a divine armor that was enough to resist the sneak attack of the enemy hiding in the dark. If 2 layers of divine treasure overlapped, it could also shoot out a ball of black flames with a destructive aura. It was equivalent to Amaterasu. Its power was so terrifying that ordinary people could not resist it. This is too exaggerated. Offense and defense are combined. With control and attack, the 2nd layer divine treasure is indeed extraordinary. Wong Tang's mind moved, and he was shocked and said to himself, no wonder the dual pupils of ancient times were invincible as soon as they were born. Just ask, who can compete with the power of the dual pupils' divine treasure? This is not over yet. The next moment, the 108 supreme bones in the body also crackled and became hot. There is no doubt, the 2nd layer divine treasure of the supreme bone was also opened. Let me see, what is the supreme bone divine treasure? Wong Tang closed his eyes and felt it with his heart. At this moment, 108 pieces of supreme bones once again condensed into a treasure bone covered with runes. The reincarnation treasure. It was revealed at this moment. This is the 2nd layer divine treasure of supreme bone. Master the secret power of time and space. Condensing time and space. You can control the age of the opponent, making the enemy become like a baby, or turning him into an old man. After turning into a baby or an old man, the enemy's strength will naturally be greatly reduced. However, the reincarnation treasure cannot directly kill the opponent, but can only weaken the opponent's strength through the power of reincarnation. If it acts on the 3rd leg, perhaps, at the age of 8, Wong Tang can have the size of a 20-year-old dragon. And it can also act on the attack. Through the power of the passing of time, the attack is reduced to the lowest point. This reincarnation treasure is even more amazing. Deprive the enemy of his life and make the attack pass away, then no one can beat me. Wong Tang was extremely happy in his heart. The attack methods of these two physiques are more powerful than each other. Even if the opponent has a way to deal with it, it is enough to give him a headache. If he uses it in battle, he can still use other divine abilities to attack. In addition to being excited, Wong Tang couldn't help but want to find a whetstone to practice. And Saint Emperor and Suanni, after eating the 5-dragon soup, also sat cross-legged on one side. Absorbed the medicinal effects. They didn't have the heaven-swallowing demon technique, and it would take some time to digest it by relying on their own cultivation. Outside the emperor's palace, the ancestors extended their spiritual sense and sensed that Wong Tang had stepped into the venerable realm. Not bad, strong blood. The desolate ancient saint body is much stronger. If the divine treasure is opened, the strength will be greatly improved. The second ancestor nodded and said with satisfaction. More than that, Tanger's other two physiques have opened the second layer divine treasure, which must be another killer weapon. It seems that the opportunity to obtain the remains of the great accomplishment desolate ancient saint body during this trip to Nanling must belong to us. The first ancestor smiled and said, although Wong Tang was strong before, many monster race prodigy in Nanling were venerable realm. There are even those who have half a foot in the Emperor Dao realm. They all want to compete for the monster tower quota. Now that Wong Tang has entered the ranks of venerable realm and opened the double divine treasure, then they don't have to worry about accidents. One day later, the news that Wong Tang broke through to the venerable realm was vigorously promoted by the pavilion master of Heavenly Secrets Pavilion. It almost spread throughout the myriad worlds. This is what he did specifically. The purpose is to build momentum for Wong Tang to participate in the monster race event. Beiyuan, my wife, Han Zan, who was recuperating in the spiritual liquid pool, learned that Wong Tang had advanced to the venerable realm. He slapped the pool in anger. Wong Tang, just wait for me. Even if you reach the venerable realm first, I, Han Zan, will not give up. When I recover from my injury, I will kill you. The main reason was that Wong Tang had cast too much of a shadow on him. Not only did he defeat him as his mortal enemy, but he also snatched his fiancée Yan Ruyu in public. The key point was that Yan Ruyu was pregnant with his child. Now when Han Zan's name is mentioned, everyone thinks of what? Minotaur, cuckold king, taker. Who can bear such an insult? Janur, don't be angry. A temporary failure is nothing. When you recover from your injury, go and accept the inheritance in the ancestral land that was left by a tyrant ancestor of my wife's family. It will definitely help you get a qualitative improvement. The first ancestor of my wife's family came in to comfort him. Their wife is a professional in heavenly hegemony physique. A heavenly hegemony physique appears every now and then, otherwise it wouldn't be the first force in Beiyuan. And countless years ago, my wife had a heavenly hegemony physique with great accomplishment. Although he failed to become an emperor, he could still compete with the great emperor of the time. This inheritance in the ancestral land, it was left by him. A few days later, as time was approaching, Wong Tang rode on Suanni and rushed to Nanling with Saint Emperor. And, for safety reasons, 5 quasi-emperor ancestors were dispatched to escort Wong Tang. As soon as they arrived at the outer border of Nanling, in the sky, the monster chi that covered the sky and the sun covered the area where Wong Tang was. The next moment, several terrifying auras suddenly descended. Fellow Taoist, please stay. An old man with a dead face appeared and stopped the 5 ancestors who were leading the way. Then, 9 figures exuding quasi-emperor auras stepped out of the clouds one by one. One by one, monster chi soared into the sky. And these 10 people are the 10 elders of the Nanling Monster Alliance. As we all know, Nanling is almost all monster race forces, known as the country of myriad monsters. Since ancient times, it was like a pile of loose sand, each fighting for territory. Ever since the birth of the legendary Great Emperor Azure Emperor of Monster Race, who ruled Nanling with thunderous means, they formed a monster alliance. They selected 10 monster race masters who were highly respected and powerful to unify the management. It can be said that the 10 of them felt the trend of Nanling. Devil blood fellow Taoist, long time no see. I wonder if you have come here specially to discuss something important. The first ancestor spoke slowly, obviously acquainted with several people. The devil blood fellow Taoist he mentioned. It was the old man in front of him who looked like a dead tree. And this old man, his body is the ancient god plant devil blood god tree, and his identity is the great elder of the Nanling Monster Alliance. Fellow Taoist, this time I monster race is holding a grand event. All the strong men above quasi-emperor realm are temporarily not allowed to enter. Avoid some unnecessary misunderstandings. The great elder of devil blood spoke bluntly and told. This problem did not exist in the past. But when the myriad races were held before, the ancestors of the Wong family went fishing for the ancestors of the real dragon race. They had to be on guard. If there was another fishing, their Nanling monster race would definitely lose a strong fighting force. Fellow Taoist of demon blood, if we don't enter, how can the safety of our prince be guaranteed? The second ancestor asked. The great elder of demon blood smiled at his question and obviously thought of a solution in advance. Don't worry, fellow Taoist. Except for the 10 of us old guys, the quasi-emperor of our Nanling monster race will stay in the Monster Alliance. During the event, the 10 of us will maintain order, and there will be absolutely no accidents. And we are willing to swear an oath to heaven and earth. This can be regarded as sincere. Once the oath to heaven and earth is made, the moment it is violated, the body and soul will be directly destroyed. They naturally will not joke with their lives. In that case, then we will wait at the border. The first ancestor nodded and agreed. Based on his understanding of the demon blood elder, since the other party has made a heaven-earth oath, he will definitely guarantee Wong Tang's safety. After the deal is done, the demon blood elder personally led the way and escorted Wong Tang and Saint Emperor to the Celestial Beast Palace where Su Ruyu was. The other 9 Monster Alliance elders dispersed to each side to stop the monster race quasi-emperors outside Nanling. After all, the monster race event attracted more than just the monster race in Nanling. Monsters from all over the world. As long as the identity is correct, you can come to participate in the competition. At this moment, in the east, endless flames burned, rendering the sky blood red. Red divine bulls with nose rings and flames came in the air. The huge blood power made the void where they were located tremble a lot. And this is one of the 7 life forbidden areas, the guardian team of the Tianwang Divine Bull clan. Escorted, it was the divine child of their tribe who was preparing to attend the event. Even the Tianwang Divine Bull has come. This monster race event must be no smaller than usual. The 6th ancestor took a look and muttered to himself. No surprise. The quasi-emperor ancestor of the Tianwang Divine Bull tribe was also told that he was blocked here. Their divine child was led in by an elder of the Monster Alliance. Gradually, more and more monster races outside Nanling broke through the air and rushed here. Among them were many ancient relics. The sky-horned black dragon, the purple crystal-winged lion king, the 9-headed lion, the 3-eyed dead wood treasure tree. And Wong Tang, who was riding on the back of the Suani. Looking at the various monsters around him, he couldn't help but drool. No matter how you look at it, they are all apex-level ingredients. If it weren't for the demon blood elder in front, I'm afraid Wong Tang would have been unable to help but take the ingredients. Very soon, under the leadership of the demon blood elder, Wong Tang arrived at a mountain range. In the center of the mountain, there stood a huge palace with visible magic arrays all around it. It looked like a mobile battle fortress. My friend, we have arrived at the Celestial Beast Palace. Go down by yourself. I have something else to do, so I won't accompany you. The demon blood elder said kindly. Thank you, senior. Wong Tang bowed and returned the greeting. After the demon blood elder left, Wong Tang and Saint Emperor quickly descended and arrived at the gate of the Celestial Beast Palace. At this time, a moving figure, accompanied by several elders, walked out of the Celestial Beast Palace. The person who came was Su Ruyu. Wong Tang, I am honored. My name is Su Ruyu. Please help me later, Su Ruyu said while revealing the azure lotus on her thighs and lowering her collar. Then, a scent came to his face, like a dandelion seed. It entered Wong Tang's nose. Oh my god, it smells so good. As expected, the more beautiful a woman is, the more fragrant she is. But as he smelled it, Wong Tang noticed something was wrong. The scene in front of him was hallucinogenic. Obviously. This Su Ruyu was testing him. A trick. Dual pupils, open. Wong Tang shouted softly and opened his eyes. Talking about illusions. Ancient dual pupils are the ancestors. In just one eye opening, the enchanting illusion brought by the original fragrance disappeared instantly. It actually broke my enchanting illusion in one go. Wong Tang, the emperor's son, you are really good at it. I envy your eyes so much. Su Ruyu touched her lips with her fingertips and smiled. This is the truth, not to mention that she, who practices enchantment, yearns for it, even the great master who studies illusion arrays. He also wants ancient dual pupils. That is a self-illusion, and it can also dispel illusions. No, the charm of the Su Emperor's daughter is also good. If I didn't have the ancient dual pupils with me, I'm afraid I would have been fooled long ago. Wong Tang exchanged a few pleasantries and flattered each other. But this does not mean that someone has not been fooled. Because, before Wong Tang opened his eyes, Su Annie clearly felt it. The Saint Emperor sitting behind Wong Tang, using second brother, constantly poking his spine. At this moment, in Wong Tang's mind, the familiar system voice sounded on time. Ding, congratulations to the host, the new sign in location is refreshed. Sign in location, the 9th floor of the Monster Tower. The 9th floor of the Monster Tower. His target, the remains of the great accomplishment desolate ancient saint body, is also on the 9th floor. It seems, he must get a quota on this trip. Daughter Su, can you tell me how to win the Monster Tower quota in this monster race event? Wong Tang thought for a while and asked. Although he knew that he could form a team to compete, he still didn't know much about the actual situation. It's actually very simple. The event is presented in the form of a challenge. You can challenge any contestant, and the winner will be the champion. If you win 10 games in a row, you will directly get a place to enter the Monster Tower. Su Ruyu said slowly. It seems simple. In fact, it is still difficult to win 10 games in a row. Not only because of the participation of myriad monsters prodigy, but also under the consumption of the round-robin battle. If you are not careful, you will lose. Why do we need to form a team? Suddenly, Wong Tang thought of this question and continued to ask. Teaming up is actually a guarantee. If you lose, I will continue to fight on the basis of your victory. As long as we have 10 consecutive wins, even if we both win, we will get the quota to pass the level together. As for the quota of the Monster Tower, there are 30, and there is also a limit on the number of people in the team, which cannot exceed 3. Su Ruyu smiled and explained. After a long time. There are also unspoken rules. In this way, they can make mistakes. However, this is not very friendly to people who come and go alone. It's a pity that the rules are like this. In addition, the great emperor inheritance like them can also invite a human race foreign aid outside the monster race. The success rate of competing for the quota is much higher. After understanding clearly, Wong Tang relaxed. With the Saint Emperor, they just formed a team of 3. And they can use this monster race event. Test the newly opened divine ability. A few days later, Nanling, the central area. Here stands a towering black tower, divided into 9 floors, with countless talismans imprinted on it. While emitting strong monster chi, there is also a burst of imperial power. From time to time, a bell sounded from the top of the black tower, shaking everyone's heart. This is the monster tower left by Azure Emperor. And in front of the monster tower, a giant battle arena, released by the spells of 10 Monster Alliance elders, slowly rose to the air. Ha 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 ha, I'm the first one to come, so this time this emperor will be the champion. A man with a dragon horn on his forehead rode a wild beast to arrive here first. He is the native monster race of Nanling, the emperor of the 3-eyed red dragon race. Behind him, followed by 2 monster race emperors, obviously his teammates this time. After these 3 people arrived, from all directions, countless monster race prodigy also kept rushing here. This included the Wong Tang trio. Seeing that almost all the people had arrived, the 10 elders of the Monster Alliance looked at each other and, under the leadership of the great elder Demon Blood, attacked together. They used a top-notch defense formation to protect this area. You are familiar with the rules of the event. Then I will not introduce it anymore. My monster race advocates fighting and killing. Who will come up first to be the champion? the demon blood elder said in a loud voice while towering in the air. They didn't have any nonsense. Just one word. Just do it. I'll go first. I was the first to come just now, so I should be the first to win the title. The three-eyed red dragon race emperor raised his hand and jumped onto the stage. Then he pouted generously on it. He shouted at people to challenge him. At this time, an inconspicuous black-robed figure in the crowd instantly attracted Wong Tang's attention. Buzz, without thinking, Wong Tang opened his eyes. Under the gaze of his ancient dual pupils, although the man was well hidden, he still sensed the chaotic energy emanating from him. Wasn't it Li Feiyu, the owner of Chaos Body? This kid is here too. It seems that he was also invited. Wong Tang narrowed his eyes and muttered to himself. Looking around, next to Li Feiyu, stood a strange man with golden eyes. This man with golden eyes. He was the son of the Golden Crow clan. His ancestor had a great emperor, but he passed away less than 10,000 years ago. But he still had the great emperor's legacy. Naturally, he was qualified to invite prodigy of the human race as a teammate. At this moment, Li Feiyu was talking to him. Brother Jinwu. You guys go first in the battle later. If something unexpected happens, I will take over. Li Feiyu lowered his voice and spoke. He would never be the first to go up for a round-robin battle as he adhered to the Go style of play. If he was not also interested in the Azure Emperor's heart on the 9th floor of the Monster Tower, he would not have accepted the invitation of the Golden Crow son. He nodded. The Golden Crow Emperor looked at a sturdy man beside him and said, Brother Manhu, please take the lead. The earlier we get the quota for the tower, the more at ease we will feel. He was telling the truth. Once we wait until later, there will be few quotas left. Then the challenge will definitely be more crazy. Even if we succeed in getting the quota, not to mention getting injured, our own physical strength will be consumed greatly. It is not conducive to entering the Monster Tower. No problem. I just want to try my hand first. The Manhu Emperor shook his head and jumped onto the battle arena with a grin. Manhu, I didn't expect that my first opponent would be you. The three-eyed red dragon race emperor was shocked, and he obviously knew the man named Manhu in front of him. Although he was quite strong. But the Manhu clan is a monster race known for its strength, and it is considered a top clan in the monster race. It's a tough spot. I even regretted coming up first. Stop talking nonsense. Do you want to go down by yourself, or do I beat you down? The Tiger King said arrogantly, his hands in his pockets. He was already giving him face. Otherwise, once the fight started, he would definitely win easily. After thinking it over again and again, the Dragon Race King with 3 pupils directly admitted defeat. In this way, according to the rules of the event, the team that directly admitted defeat without fighting. The remaining teammates, they don't have to follow the footsteps of the teammates who have admitted defeat. In other words, they can avoid the Tiger King and choose the right time to challenge him later. Ha ha ha, who else? Who else dares to come up? Who else is not afraid of death? The barbarian Tiger Emperor laughed wildly. He's a tough guy right from the start. Let's not ask for trouble. After this barbarian Tiger Emperor wins the quota, we can find the soft persimmon behind us. A monster race prodigy shook his head and smiled bitterly. This barbarian tiger is quite famous in monster race, and there are basically few people who can compete with him. That's right. Look at the prince of the Tianzhou Malong clan. It seems that he has no intention of going up to fight. Someone reminded in a low voice. Even Prodigy, whose strength is not much different from that of the barbarian Tiger Emperor, chose to turn a blind eye. After all, there is a risk of failure. It's better to give away a few quotas first. When the number of threats decreases, then they will be sure to win when they take action. No one dares to go up. If no one dares to go up, it's better to directly determine that we have won the quota. The barbarian Tiger Emperor continued to laugh. The next moment, boom, a black iron rod flew over and firmly stuck on the battle ring. Arrogant, let me fight you. Saint Emperor jumped onto the battle ring at Wong Tang's instruction. Looking at Saint Emperor in front of him, Manhu frowned and felt a thorn in his side. Fighting Saint Ape, there are only 1 or 2 of them left in the world. Why did they come to participate in the event instead of staying in the restricted area of life? He was shocked. In previous monster race events, there were traces of the monster races that came. But I didn't expect that today. I actually saw the rare fighting saint ape. But for the sake of face, man who still gritted his teeth and waved his claws to attack Saint Emperor. Take my claw. The tiger claw grabbed across the air, mixed with the ancient breath. At this moment, his man-who blood burst out, and the whole tiger claw became particularly sharp. Cooperating with the strength of his venerable realm. The power of this attack should not be underestimated. If an ordinary venerable realm is hit, even if it does not die, it will be seriously injured. Because of the wild energy. It is unique to the barbarian tiger clan and can penetrate into the body and damage the internal organs. It is extremely insidious. What tiger claw? This is clearly a dog claw. Watch me beat the tiger with a stick. Saint Emperor was not afraid at all. He covered the black iron rod, and the fighting blood in his body boiled. The combat power was instantly increased by 10 times. Boom! The terrifying physical energy wave shook the battle arena. Dwang! A sound of skull collision sounded. The iron rod in Saint Emperor's hand. Under his vertical strike, it accurately hit the head of Barbarian Tiger Emperor. Puff! Barbarian Tiger Emperor flew backwards and spit out a mouthful of blood. This stick almost gave him a cerebral hemorrhage. Suddenly, under the battle arena, many prodigy of monster race were speechless. What a terrifying fighting saint ape. As expected of a natural fighting maniac, he injured the Tiger Emperor with one stick. Someone swallowed his saliva and smacked his lips. And, how come monkeys dare to fight tigers? When there is no tiger in the mountain, the monkey is king. This sentence is really true. What's wrong with that? It can only be blamed on your Nanling native monster race being too weak. Compared with the races in our restricted area, they are simply garbage. You can't even beat them with one hand. A sudden voice came out from the crowd. Hearing this, the local monster race prodigy of Nanling present were all furious. They looked for the owner of the voice. They were ready to teach him a lesson. But when they saw the person who was speaking clearly, they all closed their mouths. They saw a bull-headed man with a nose ring. He stood there as majestic as a mountain, with thick muscles all over his body and a breath of fire. He was one of the 7 life-forbidden areas. The divine child of the Tianguang Divine Bull clan. Niu Tian. At the same time, on the battle stage, the barbarian tiger emperor shook his body and stood up with difficulty, covering his head. The stick just now. He was hit so hard that he was seeing stars now. Even looking at the figure of the Saint Emperor, he had hallucinations. This Emperor's son doesn't believe it. A tiger can't beat a monkey. Die for me. The barbarian tiger emperor stabilized his body and shouted. Boom! His body swelled wildly, and the surging power instantly poured into his limbs. The battle of monster race. It is so plain and simple. Relying purely on physical strength. The divine abilities used are all from the tribe or bloodline inheritance. Barbarian Tiger Broken Gold Fist. Barbarian Tiger Emperor used his legs to force, and with a bang, he flew into the air and attacked Saint Emperor. Clenched fists. The power was enhanced by the speed of falling. It was raised to another level. Yo, this punch is a bit interesting, but it's still not good enough. Saint Emperor looked down on it. The black iron rod in his hand was swung out again, and it hit the waist of the barbarian tiger emperor directly with a horizontal sweep. Bang! The crisp sound of broken bones sounded. Ah, ah, ah. Before the fist of the barbarian tiger emperor fell, he was hit under the ring by the Saint Emperor. Screaming continuously. Not only were several ribs broken, but even the kidneys were seriously injured. Brother Manhu, are you okay? Golden Crow Emperor hurried forward and helped him up. No, it's okay. This monkey is too powerful. His fighting blood can increase his combat power tenfold. You have to be careful. The Manhu Emperor covered his waist and said in pain. If he loses, then the Golden Crow Emperor must go up. Seeing the terrifying strength of Saint Emperor, the Manhu Emperor was very worried that the Golden Crow Emperor would lose. And just after the Golden Crow Emperor came on stage, Saint Emperor actually surrendered directly, which puzzled everyone. And he won a game. Admitting defeat can only let the teammates behind take over, which is a blood loss no matter how you look at it. Under the ring. Monkey, what's wrong with you? I asked you to go up to collect ingredients, why did you knock him off the ring? You let a good man tiger run away. I'm really angry. Let me do it. Wong Tang kept scolding Saint Emperor. I thought the man-tiger would definitely die. But I didn't expect. Saint Emperor used too much force and knocked him off the ring, so he couldn't continue to chase him. Direct loss of an apex level ingredient. Hearing this, Yan Ruyu next to him almost got angry. So these two people are here to get ingredients. They don't care about the quota for the monster tower at all. Then, Wong Tang glanced at Li Feiyu in the distance, and then jumped onto the battle stage consciously. As long as he wins this game, then Li Feiyu must go on stage. In this way, he can also fight with Chaos Body as he wishes, and by the way, use the divine treasure opened by battle training. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.